Oh my god. It's 8 p.m. Pacific time. Is anybody ready for this? Hey, wake up, chat. Where is everybody? Okay, all right. 3, 2, 1. Just kidding. I'm not going to start. Okay, here we go. All right. Yo. What's up, everybody? My name is Julian Jangen, and welcome to the first ever Battlefield Roundtable Inquisition of said Battlefield. Battlefield 5. This is the first time we have ever done anything like this. Nobody has ever attempted a 10-man squadron of just the craziest Battlefield players, the most talented, the most gorgeous, the so much beard, except for Dynamics and Enders, and that's okay. And KHT, but that's okay.
Where's Gabby's dude?
Yeah.
Where's your beard, bro?
Almost there. We are going to be talking about a lot about Battlefield 5 and the 6.2 update. These are my friends. Let's start some introductions here. Nocturne Saga from sim.gg, contributor, mastermind of the hit rater, and giving us all these statistics, all this good stuff coming up from there. He's also worked for AAA companies and developed a whole bunch of crazy stuff. How you doing, Nocturne Saga?
Oh, pretty good.
Good. He's got the low voice. He's the kitty cat. Okay, next up we got Enders. Man, a Chad, an Omni boy, Twitch partner streamer, FOV abuser, speeds up his clips, known hacker, recall expert, and a config file hacker. Welcome, Enders. How are you?
You forgot server lag injector, but
server lag injector. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Foot pedal aimbotter also.
Yes. Next up, we got the Rimmer himself, Mr. Scientist Man, Boca Rosa, aka Boca Boy, King of the Dinguses, Sneaky Snake, and usually doesn't blow it. Welcome, Boca Boy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, dude.
Good. All right, next up, hey, it is the, oh my god, where do I begin? It's freaking Dynamics boy, aka Crynamics, killer of creatures, killer of all creatures on the battlefield and pronies, Twitch streamer. Look out! Oh, also Boca's a Twitch streamer too. Everyone almost is. Okay, and how you doing, Dynamics?
Still alive, crying from the inside, but yeah, I'm good.
Typical Crynamics. Great, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we got Gabby Rose, Twitch streamer, emote artiste, and a Canadian. And will blow your head off when she's sniping on the battlefield. Gabby Rose, welcome.
Hello.
How was Strum? You were just streaming, like, yeah, get off. I hope you're murdering.
I know, you guys had to kick me off. I don't know. That was the first time I played, so I have many thoughts. So
good. We'll be getting into that. Welcome everybody. Hey, brother Steve, thanks for the raid. Welcome everybody in to the first ever Battlefield Inquisition, episode 21 of the Battlefield show. Let's move on to Mr. Del Tara. Last minute guest. Thank you so much for hopping on in here for guitar solo. Yeah, no guitar solo. He's out there making money, okay? He has to wake up early, so we got Del Tara in.
He's going to bed.
Yeah, he's going to bed. Del Tara is usually a leader of all competitive games. He usually sets all those up for all the sweaty boys that want to come together and show off. And he's organizing all that stuff. He's moved on to Call of Duty and just destroying people, I'm sure. Yeah, but he's been playing a lot of Battlefield. Real good at that. He's also joined up on the what we call it, VII or what's the
7?
7, yeah, the 7 member, and also a known hacker, Del Tara. What's up, dude? How you doing?
As many accusators like to say V11, they can't.
Yeah,
I'm doing well.
Good. Welcome. Thank you again for coming in on such short notice. Okay, next up, we got Chicken, Beef, or Lamb. I just recently met him not too long ago, and he's an up-and-coming Aussie streamer. Just all-around hilarious person. He has a tattoo on his forehead that is not his hair. You'll see it. He's awesome. Great Twitch streamer. Do you have any other nickname? Daddy of Battlefield? Daddy of Battlefield. There you go.
Daddy.
Welcome to you. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good.
Excellent. Thanks for coming by. Next person, the only knight of the round table here, Energized Knight, is a Twitch streamer as well. And he does a lot of cool stuff on his stream. He pretty much has a few challenges that he likes to do. Gets 1,000 kills with every gun here in Battlefield 5, and probably working up for more. Also, has going for all the gold skins on all the assignments. I'm sure that's that's gotta be rough for sure. But yeah, Energized Knight, man, the keeper, all the fishes, the cat man. I don't know else how to say it, but welcome, Energized Knight. How you doing?
Doing well, Julian. Thanks for having me on the show. You know, I'm here repping Xbox. I'll let my last 2 working brain cells. So we'll see how this goes.
We'll see. Next up, we have another sim.gg contributor and all-around stat man, G Chad himself, gym sport enthusiast, KHT 120. How you doing, man?
What's up? I'm doing great. Not mentioning maker of bad Call of Duty montages, but yeah, that too.
I didn't have time to dig that deep, but that's awesome. Welcome. And of course, I'm Julian Janganu, host of the first Battlefield Inquisition. Welcome everybody coming on in. We got a lively chat here. Welcome. Okay. I know 6.2 just dropped on us. A lot of people are rejoicing. A lot of people are crying. A lot of people are super mad about certain things. And we're going to talk all about that. The first thing I want to do is start with the sim.gg boys, Nocturne KHT 120, about the, this is the 4th attempt at addressing the TTK issue here for Battlefield 5. Let's just start, man. You and Nocturne can chime in at any time. What is this TTK trying to tell us? What is DICE trying to tell us with this? Has it got better, or what's going on here?
I think it's actually the 5th if you count Close Alpha 2, which is kind of like DICE's first run at making a time to kill that doesn't really work. Yeah, with 6.2, you basically have damage models that are really similar to 5.2.2. But with recoil, that's functionally identical to 5.0, just like the standard base game before all this TTK debacle. So yeah, just the combination doesn't really work. You know, outside of semis being really strong, you're just looking at a game where a lot of the automatics effectively actually kill slower than they did before in 5.2.2. Actually, for the most part, it's pretty similar. Some things are a tiny bit faster, some things are a tiny bit slower, but just in terms of just raw damage output, you're looking at an overall time to kill that's actually pretty similar to 5.2.2. So just hand it over to Nocturne to see if he has anything to say.
Let's see. Under the hood, and KHT and I have said this in our separate threads, the 5 modifiers and the fast ROF special projectiles they put in for the fast RPM weapons, they all still exist and they're all still hooked up. All they did was change the values to match whatever was in 5.0. And that to me signals that somewhere in DICE, alongside the fact that they still have this whole +1 BTK garbage for like 100 meters or 50 meters or 75 meters, whatever. The fact that they have this under the hood still and those unnecessary changes means it's not over yet.
Yeah,
somewhere down the
quite
line,
concerning.
Yeah, somewhere down, they've left the door open for them to just change the values on these high RPM weapons to give them less damage, whatever. They can give a blanket change to all the recoil if they need it, etc., etc. So I think people are celebrating way too early.
Yeah, that's... What is up with the slow firing guns getting shafted? Why didn't they take a look at that? I don't understand.
Well, the way the game works is the high ROF weapons do better in close range. The slow weapons do better at long range.
Yeah.
You can't do range if they keep shafting your long range damage, and that's what's happened. You gained one more bullet to kill at long range across all the weapons, and then you keep trying to say that you're improving the long range experience by constantly getting rid of damage output or whatever. But all it does is make your slow RPM weapons worse and worse, and it pushes people to use the fast firing weapons in close range, like the Type 2A.
Oh god, the Type 2A. Where's the Type 2A at now, guys? What do you
Barely
think about it?
nerfed at all.
Yeah, so effectively, your high RPM weapons perform largely the same as they did in 5.2.2. But then your slow RPM weapons actually like largely perform worse. You know, when Nocturne and I ran this whole hit rater thing, if you pop open the MP40, for example, MP40 pretty much performed straight up worse than it did before 6.2. Especially just entirely
I even
has
highlighted
more recoil.
Yeah, I even highlighted the bar when you turn on the slow fire mode, right?
Yeah.
It used to have the Madsen projectile in 5.2.2 or whatever, and that was like a 5 to 6 bullet to kill. They switched that to the 30-06, which should have been, right? But that's 4 to 7 now. It got worse at 50 meters and beyond, but it got better within 50 meters. And now you switch that slow ROF when you want to use it at range. So
it's kind of backwards.
Yeah, if they kept it as 4 to 6 bullet to kill, it would have been a big improvement. It would have been a complete improvement. But with the change to 4 to 7, it just turned into an inferior version of the fast fire mode again.
What?
Yeah.
And it's got more recoil now. So you're missing more of those shots.
Yeah. And speaking of recoil, the Type 2A has more recoil than I think any other gun in Battlefield history at this point.
And it still feels like a laser beam.
It's still not enough, eh? Like it's still a hip fired god. Like
I mean, it's not enough because that's not what makes it like. The RPM is what makes it. Really good.
It's never gonna be enough, no matter what.
1,000 RPM is just hilarious.
They should make it 6 bullets to kill. In my
There's been
opinion,
plenty of guns like it before, like the CZ3A1 and BF4. BF3 had guns pushing 1,000 RPM. I think, you know, when you have health attrition, that kind of aggravates issues that you would have with guns that otherwise wouldn't be that amazing on paper with 100 HP, because, you know, on paper we do these measurements assuming 100 HP, but you know, in practice, you don't always have
Careful for what you wish for, because a 6 BTK Type 2A might have to go in, and then you get a 5 BTK MP40, and then a 5 BTK STG, and then we're back to 5.2.
Yeah, they blew it.
Yeah,
I mean, they still did a 6 BTK M2 carbine, even though everything else was almost 4 BTK. So
yeah. And
why not?
It made no sense. It made no sense.
It made no sense, but I feel like at this point, that's the only way to like give other guns, especially the slow firing guns, a chance against the 2A and CQC. I can't think of anything else that would make them viable against the 2A.
The point is you don't use you don't use the MP40 to directly like engage in CQC. Like it can do it, like it has hip fire options, but the whole point is to have like a more flexible gun.
You should be using the MP40 at 30 meters or 40 meters against the Type 2A, or you know, you should. But thanks to the mid-range and long-range damage getting shafted again, they're still worthless to pick. So you just forget that those things exist. You pick up the Type 2A, you pick up the Suomi, you pick up the Thompson, and you just continue only picking 20 meters or less.
True.
Okay, so what about this shotgun? Did they lie about the shotguns? Because I have read that they changed nothing with this update.
I assume they changed nothing.
Oh, no. Shotguns are back to 5.0. But keep in mind, it's only lying. It's only lying if they're aware that what they're saying is untrue. And now I
So-
strongly suspect that they're not aware.
How do we know that they're back to 5.0?
Because you can compare on sim.gg when we have the change lists.
What's really
5.
popping out in terms of? Can you give us an example
Of shotguns? The
Yeah.
range is back at least.
Yeah,
range,
it's just
okay.
damage model, just a range change. It's
For
just pushed back
5.2,
to
they
5.0.
chopped off like 2 meters off of every damage range for the shotguns.
I remember
And
that. I remember that
6.2
patch when that came out.
Yeah, and 6.2 gave back 2 meters. So we're back to
And
where
they
we
just-
started.
And they just didn't mention that at all. I mean, they one shot anyway until I use them. So
Get good,
Exactly.
bruh.
One user stated on the forums, like, is there any plans on further tweaking the shotguns? I very, very rarely see anybody use them outside of Metro. Consistently shooting 3 or 4 shots at 10, 20 meters seems to be very excessive compared to past games. Also, slugs appear to be in the same camp with 3 shots required for kills outside 20 or so meters. And then the community manager, Part Welsh, responded, for 6.2, shotguns won't be affected in this update. We are largely happy with where they are right now, though we'll monitor their performance when the changes take effect in case we need to review that. So you're saying that there's certain ranges that are back from 5.0, but why is he just not informed about these changes, or were there ninja'd
He's
in?
probably
Like,
just not informed. Like,
That's my
we've
guess
seen
as
it
well.
before,
just bad
like,
communication.
Community manager just doesn't, like, either the dev team doesn't inform the community manager or the community manager just doesn't keep up with the dev team. But it's happened before. Like, what was it? I forget, but there was some, like, what was it?
Was it the gadget thing? The advertisement for the gadgets?
Maybe, but all I remember is that there have been incidents before where some dev will put in a patch note, and then the dev team, or not the dev team, the community manager will say one thing, but they're actually in or something.
Well,
And
that's
you
kind of
kinda
like,
see
remember
this
the
with
other
tons of
week?
games. Like, it's happening all over Modern Warfare right now, where there's a ton of changes and the patch notes don't reflect it. So no one knows until someone like Drifter Exclusive Ace tests it and says like, oh, like yeah, this changed, but it didn't say so in the patch notes. Just seems like a lot of studios have been having that kind of communication problem between the developers and designers and their community managers.
Even worse has been some changes that Infinity Ward will say was changed, and then Drifter goes and tests it, and it's like, nah, this is the same as before.
Yeah, it just total lack of communication, and it seems to be starting to happen to DICE as well. So like, there's a ton of vehicle changes that happened in 6.2, and I don't know, reading the patch notes, barely any of them were reflected. Like, they didn't say anything about plane rockets becoming vastly buffed.
Plane
And they didn't.
rockets.
Yeah, the
Pull
plane
up the
rockets.
clip, Boca.
Yeah, the plane rockets saw like a huge increase in blast radius
What?
and a pretty decent increase in damage too, if I recall correctly. I don't know.
Did they end up
file now?
Did they end up fixing the dusting from some of the bombers shooting at other bombers?
Yeah, they fixed that.
That's ready to go. Okay. The only thing I know about rockets was from that stupid Callipoli thing. Oh, sorry about that, Boga. You blew it.
Ripped.
But yeah, why do you think they buffed that? I don't understand that whole change. Aren't they supposed to try and nerf tanks here? What the hell?
Well, as other people speculated, there might have been an angle damage change on the tanks, coupled with a rocket change that someone else made, and the two didn't bother testing it. So they each submitted their own change that combined to give us the great gift of RP3s as we know them today.
What, you think there's 2 devs working on the game? Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were multiple devs just working on different sections of this game. I mean,
a lot of people predicted too.
Yeah, for all
combined
the
IQ
jokes
of
about
7.
Battlefield 5 skeleton crew or whatever, I find that hard to believe. Like, sure, they might have fewer than before, but it's not going to be like one guy soloing everything.
There could be many people, but they might not necessarily be as qualified as people who came before them.
Maybe. Or maybe this whole monthly release schedule thing is too much for them to handle. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't understand how it's too much to handle, eh?
Because they just have the janitor working on the game. What do you mean?
Yo, the janitor is qualified, all right?
Okay.
To
So
explain everything, actually.
right. But everyone, okay, when I'm playing the game, all right, right now I'm just trying the first few SMGs like the MP34, MP28. They feel really good almost on every map right now. But I'm not trying out the other guns. For me, they felt pretty good. But the recoil that you guys are talking about, I'm not noticing it on the MP34 like at all. It actually feels really good. Is that unique to that gun?
That's lower rate of fire.
Yeah. MP34 was supposed to be one of the more accurate SMGs, and in fact, it's supposed to have one less bullet to kill compared to other SMGs at long range. So before the MAB arrived, it was supposed to be the longest range SMG, and then MAB is kind of competing with it for that.
Yeah.
Okay, what other SMGs are standing out right now, like as the kings?
I used the Tommy the other day.
ZK and MP28.
I'm liking the EMP right now.
And
I found the
MP28
Suomi
is
viable.
a
Yeah, Suomi.
much
good,
more
but
controllable alternative to the ZK.
Yeah, I'm liking the MP28 as well. MP28 is probably the best for me.
The fast RPM SMGs go without question in close quarters.
Yeah.
That's never going to be.
It's never going to be different.
Yeah.
Grease Gun's good too, but it's kind of weird and neat.
What about my boy Tommy?
I used a Tommy the other day, and I think I dropped an 80 bomb. So
Tommy
it
goes
was
with
pretty
Tommy.
good. But
it's there. I actually prefer some 20 RPM. That's my favorite.
All right. Well, how's a ZK slow rate of fire one? Is that
it's unviable?
It's unviable.
I mean,
do people even use that?
There's just no reason to use it at all.
Yeah. You're supposed to take headshots.
It's a complete laser, but it just has no it's a complete laser, but it's the DPS is so slow.
Yeah, it just has no viability.
I feel like I'm dropping just as many 90+ damages as I was in 5.2.2.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like people just to get around cover, just as fast as they were able to before.
I have a feeling that could be because we're taking different fights than before.
As soon as SARs are viable, the entire play style of the game gets farther away. So, I mean, that's immediately, I think that's immediately noticeable, at least for me. As soon as I say SARs are good, people just stay further away.
Yeah, if they want to use the SAR, they got to stay away.
Plus SLRs too.
Yeah, if you want to use the one, well, not the one, but like one of the few weapon classes that actually has good damage output, you're going to use it at the range where it has that advantage. So
yeah.
If you want to get up close, you can still use the G15 with the hip fire. It's kind of
dirty.
Jack of all trades right now.
G15 NIDAR, dude. I'm telling you, it's so good.
And I don't think the change was bad. Like, not entirely. Like, they brought some weapons back to 5.0 levels where, you know, that's what the game's designed around. They should probably just bring everything else back there too.
Well, that's the biggest problem is that they brought some back, but not all of them back.
And that's
So
why
everybody's
I said
got.
it's not over yet. People are celebrating too early, as it's just Metal Gear. Not yet. It's not over yet.
Okay, so your go-tos. You guys made some picks. I don't know, Nocturne, have you made your picks as well? Like we can start off with like Assault.
Yeah. When you're Assault, you want to redeploy as the pilot and get inside the JU-88A. Same thing if you're the medic. Same thing if you're Recon. You don't play infantry. You play JU-88A and you just drop bombs.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That sounds horrifying. Yeah, that sounds horrifying. JU-88 best weapon.
Exactly.
Where my pilot mains at?
Ban him.
Get him out of here.
No, but seriously, if you want to play with Assault, Turner and AGM-42, depending on whether or not you can click fast. If you can't click fast, Turner's always a solid choice. AGM, and you can hit the double headshot, you'll get more benefit compared to the Turner.
Okay.
Medic, you got your fast firing SMGs, Type 2A. Swomy, Thompson, those are never out of the question. ZK, if you tune it for the 720 RPM. Forget about anything below 700 RPM for an SMG right now, and especially forget the Type 100 because it's 720 RPM, but 5 bullets to kill. So you're not gaining much, in my opinion. In a time where damage is already pretty bad, you don't need to kill your damage any worse than it already is. That's just fact. For support, I'd have to disagree slightly on KHT with this one. Like, shotguns are great and all.
Oh wait, the Madsen's good. I forgot to mention that.
I would have to say
relatively
that
speaking,
at least if you pick up the
Just
FG42,
use the Bretta. Don't need the Madsen.
I don't know. The Bretta is kind of hard because I remember how good it was when it had a 50-meter 4-bullet to kill, and I'm looking at this 30-meter version. I just can't accept it, you know?
I think
it has a better damage model than the Madsen.
How is the Madsen doing?
Love the Bretta.
Is the Madsen still pretty good king of long range for that, or might as well just go somewhere else?
Between the Bren and the Madsen, I mean, they're solid at long range, but remember, you don't want to do long range anymore because your damage output
support just sucks. Assault's the king now, man. I mean, unless you're using an MMG or a shotgun.
Well, it depends.
Playing support, don't use.
Right, if you're using an LMG, just go assault.
The Lewis gun.
I mean, I'd still have to say FG42 is okay.
FG42 felt really good when I used it today.
Yeah, the FG42 is okay, but
yeah. And then recon, just pick the ZH29, the Auto A RC, whatever. Pick an SLR if you're gonna play recon. The opinion are okay, but you really only want to use them if you're going really up close and you just like need the magazine capacity and the ease of use compared to an SLR.
So for people who like the bolt actions, and now that they increase the bullet velocity, are those a little more juicy now, or do people want?
I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised if we see any sort of increase in KPM or effectiveness for bolts based on bullet velocity alone.
Yeah, I used the Krag yesterday. Krag's probably the best bolter to use right now because it is 900 velocity and it's super fucking quick.
Yeah.
It registers the Car 98 useless, just because of how slow it is.
Yeah, I just doubt anybody's ability to consistently pick off headshots. That's why I always recommend
ZH29 has entered the chat.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
for
sex, baby.
Okay,
I don't understand why they upped the fire rate of that gun back to normal.
The ZH29 literally invalidates every bolt action in the whole game.
And why you need to go for headshots?
Yeah, exactly.
It invalidates.
Remember when one-shot headshot in the alpha? Oh, baby.
you can never get in the alpha. I think
One-shot headshot reload cancel.
Wait, the gun was not in the alpha. You blew it, Wogan.
No,
beta, whatever.
It was great. Are you kidding me? In the alpha, that's all I used. I got it to level 10 or something. In there.
Really?
Yeah. All I did was use ZH29. Or maybe I'm thinking about the beta. Because in Rotterdam, I just remember playing Rotterdam and glitching to the 3rd floor on those apartment buildings outside the UK spawn with the ZH29. And I just shot anyone who came by Alpha Flag. That's all I did.
Okay, what about consoles? What are you guys experiencing right now? Energize, Gabby, who else plays? I think this is you two guys. What do you guys think about it?
Personally, a lot of SLRs right now, specifically ZH29. Just set a back map, 6x bipod all the way. Yeah. Only counter right now, slap on a 6x on your ZH29. Just take them out real quick. Gabby, you anything on that?
Yeah, no, I pretty much feel the same. Like, it's the same on PC, whereas bolt actions aren't even, like, why use them when you can use the ZH, right?
I saw Gabby using the ZH29.
Uh-oh. You told me to do it.
And then do consoles get snap aim with the ZH?
Yeah, snap aim with everything.
Yeah.
With
everything.
It's great. It's fantastic. No problem at all. Dice is okay with where it's at. Trust me.
I did a plug a controller in my PC, dude.
We're okay with it. And then outside of the ZH, I would say you still got the typical cheese with the Type 2A and Lewis. It still exists. But I am seeing more variation at the very least. I think that might just be a short-term effect of the meta changing. Once people figure out SARS are viable, I'm sure people just gravitate towards SARS again, along with the more viable SMGs. I'm sure people will just figure it out. But, only a couple of days into the patch.
I think that might also be short-term, yeah.
And how you guys doing with recoil?
Really spread the recoil conversion.
I would say the ZK is the only one that's like really standing out to me as a drastic increase. ZK and bar, actually. The bar it floats around too much on the horizontal recoil, but everything else, it's manageable. But those two are the standouts for me as the ones that got impacted the most from the update.
I mean, when I was playing today, I didn't notice like too much of a difference. I don't know. I still felt like it played pretty similar.
Okay. What's your go-to right now, Gabby?
For
sniper,
like
for sniper.
SMG?
For
Craig.
sniper. Crag still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Craig. Yeah. For medic, it'd be Type 2A, Suomi. I don't know. It's just a shame because with weapons like Type 2A and Suomi, it just kind of makes me feel like I can't use any other gun and like win any fights. Only like if you use if you want a bit of a long range SMG, but close range you're pretty much only limited to those, and you have to, otherwise like everyone else is gonna win in like a 1v1 fight simply because of the fire rate.
So like when you guys are on like, I don't know, Pacific Storm, I mean, and you want to try SMGs, are you gonna even try, or you're gonna go to something a little more long range? You still like it, huh?
You have to. Well, you have to know how to use smoke. It also depends on the sector.
Yeah, we played Pacific maps yesterday, and we had a full squad of just medics, and it was just smoke heaven. Everything was smoke.
Pacific Storm, the one with all the bushes and trees?
Yeah.
Yep. So then smoke shouldn't even have to be used. You've got plenty of vegetation.
No, it does. It does.
You absolutely
It's just playing a game of find the red main.
That's the JU88 main, by the way.
Yeah, colorblind.
You have flares going up the sky already, right? Yeah, you need smoke to count on that.
Actually, in that case, the smoke just tells me where you're going to be hiding.
There's something
can't escape.
Oh man.
Did they change the size of the spotting for planes when you fly over? I flew yesterday, and the diamonds looked fucking huge. Like I could see people cross map.
Wrote a patch note about changing the way that the spot icons work in planes. Now they were whenever I fly, I notice those huge icons sometimes. I don't know what triggered it, but I did notice that they were these huge icons, and I liked it because my eyesight sucks. I can at least see these icons. But then the patch note said that it was something like if you don't have line of sight on them, you'll see like the suppression spot marker or whatever. So I'm not sure what exactly they changed because I haven't actually flown since the patch dropped. I'd have to actually go check it out. But
wait? The markers are bigger than tanks themselves. Like I'm at one side of the on EWA or something.
That's just how the spot markers work in planes since like.
Did they change the spotting acquisitions? Like the auto ones? Because it feels kind of different. It feels like I can see more people through like bushes and buildings more. Or it looks like they increased it for some reason. I don't know. Are you guys noticing any of that?
Are you talking about with infantry and like seeing through smoke and stuff?
Yeah.
We had a couple of issues like that yesterday too, where like somebody would just be walking in my smoke, and I'd just see the Dorito straight away.
Yeah,
I saw a Dorito through a wall yesterday.
Yeah,
that's been a problem.
That's been in the
cool feature, Dice.
Yeah,
excellent.
I don't think that's I don't think they extended the range or anything. Battlefield, not just BF5, but Battlefield in general, like in its entire franchise history, has just had issues with including icons like that.
Yep. Back in Battlefield 4 and 3, the
same thing.
did not block spotting properly. If I recall correctly, what happened was if you put down smoke in Battlefield 4, there is something called the block spotting entity, and you can't spot through it yourself, but your teammate can spot through it.
Whoa.
If I recall correctly, that's how it worked, because they're trying to avoid you trolling your teammates or something. So your teammate can spot through the smoke, but you can't because it's your own entity. Like how explosions work, right? You can kill yourself with your own grenade, but you can't kill teammates with your grenade. So I suspect it uses something like that. So, the spotting didn't really work back then. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't work with show name tag because it runs on a completely separate system, as far as I know.
Yeah, the way the soldier names pop up when you get close to people is kind of weird now. It like scales very oddly.
The fact that they added scaling surprises me because in Battlefield 4 and 3 it never scaled.
It was just like
constant.
Was it because of maybe they did because of viewing issues or just trying to get the UI out of the way? Because a lot of people have been complaining about just UI is just going nuts sometimes, especially in BF1. It was kind of crazy in the beginning. They had to like implement all these new options where you can make pretty much everything in the UI shrink or get larger. You can change colors and all that stuff.
I mean, options are good. I don't mind giving people more options. It's just that for like Battlefield 5 in this instance, they've told anyone about adding these options. I'm not even sure they are options. So, suddenly adding in like scaling name tags without telling anyone and without giving anyone the choice to, change how it scales, it just seems kind of, I don't know, rushed and awkward.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, what about that snap aim that people are complaining about on consoles? People are still throwing, they're just super mad about that. Do you guys? I know I talked with Energized Knight about that.
I don't get that.
Aim assist is one thing.
Things to play against.
Aim assist is one thing. Aim snapping is another thing. The aim snapping that's in the game right now, in case you're not aware, was only supposed to be for the single player. Got accidentally ported over to multiplayer. They said, "Oops, you can turn it off if you want to on your end, but people you're playing against, they're going to have it, and then they're happy with how it is right now."
Who believes it's an oops? Who believes that's actually?
I didn't tell you. That's what they said. It was just oops.
Are they planning on crossplay or something?
Yeah, they're not gonna. They're happy where it is. That's what they said. So,
I mean, to be honest, it's nice. I would not be surprised if it was like, oh, I just forgot.
Oops, our bad.
I would love for that to be gone, but it's here to stay for now. So it's just a matter of.
I myself would enjoy it. Some of my best memories of aim assist is like the original Black Ops, just hammering L2 and R2 on PS3.
That's what it is right now. It's close to that, but.
Yeah, I would like more of that. Just like, give me.
No, thank
At least
you.
It's not the Martini Henry.
Oh my gosh! People bringing up shotguns on Reddit, trying to get those buffed back out. I don't know if you guys ever watched anybody play on BF4 on console with snap aim on, with a shotgun with buckshot on like a pump auto. It is disgusting.
Battlefield 4.
So let's not have that happen in this.
I wish Battlefield shotguns were as strong as Battlefield 4 shotguns.
Yeah, I'm pretty indifferent to it. Like, I don't mind that.
Okay, JU88.
It was fucking fun.
You have to admit it was fun. The potential OHK was out to 20.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
They one-shot already.
BF4 shotguns were capable.
Disgusting. As a concept from FPS games, okay?
I'm sure you're fine 700 meters up in the air, but...
I'm with Enders on this one.
You can never really balance shotguns
Running shotgun is fun.
Okay, get it.
Keep going.
If you don't like it, you're lying to yourself, man.
Exactly. Like, dude, at the end of the day, you're playing a video game for fun. Like, dude, that was BF3. Every gun was just really strong. You had the M16A3. You had shotguns that could OHK out to 20 plus meters, and it was like kind of fine when everything was strong. The game was fun.
Exactly.
Did you remember the 870 with the slug and then like the 6 times whatever you could put on it?
Yeah. And then they came out with the SPAS, which fired even faster.
That shit
was a filthy
if you wanted slugs, you ran the SPAS, and it was fun.
The SPAS had -1 pellets, so it was worthless to run buck on it. So you just slapped the slug in there, shared the same damage model, and then you just fired basically a faster. It was great. Every weapon needs to be super strong, and then you can just pick whatever you want, and you can't really complain that it's weak. Because if they're all OP, none of them are.
Well, that is why Battlefield 3 feels good, because everything in Battlefield 3 is like belligerently strong in comparison, and that is why Battlefield 3 feels good. I played Battlefield 3 like a month ago, and I just picked like the worst weapon I could remember in the assault class that I had access to, and it was like the AK-74M. It's just like totally not worth using against the AK or the M16 or the G3A3, but it feels good because it's damage models really good. Like all the weapons are really good.
And that's what I keep saying whenever I put up these FTK threads.
I would agree with all this, but
fuck shotguns.
I would agree with all that, but the server tick rate needs to be increased first before I start talking about that. Before I start agreeing, server tick rate.
Well, I mean, this kind of highlights the point that Battlefield has just been a constant regression since BF3. BF3 set the standard, and we just keep kind of chipping away from
And
the
we
standard
fallen.
that it set. Yeah, like
Why
every
do
day
we keep
drift
falling?
further from the
Why do we keep falling? Is it because of the player base? They want to capture
Incompetency.
Incompetency?
The player base that we have right now is DICE's fault. They made every good player fuck
wanted
off.
Yeah,
They
in fact, I
brought.
read a comment from, what was it? Like on Reddit, you'll see that the only people who enjoy Battlefield 5 are like the historical reenactment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this game brought to Battlefield. We did not have these people in BF4 and BF3. Obviously, everyone used to just run around. Everyone used, to shoot their guns. Everyone just wanted to have fun. Right now, we have people that want the games to be realistic. They want realism.
Actually, going
those people
like,
existed in
It's not even
BF3.
realistic at all.
Yeah,
It's like a terrible choice for that.
So Synthig has a new website, right? But its traffic, as far as I know, is super low in comparison to the heydays of Battlefield 3, 4, and even 1. And the only reason I can think of, aside from the fact that it's just a new website, is that people who play Battlefield 5 right now and care about it just aren't interested in getting good. So they won't go look at the stats. They just care about authentic cosmetics. So they won't ever view the website, which I think is kind of sad.
They don't care about anything.
Well, the types of people who like only use the guns that their factions used historically.
Yeah, people don't want to get good. Like, you've seen the post. I'm not sure if you've seen the post that Anders posted on Reddit a few days ago. Was it 1 day ago about random recoil?
Yeah, I
Some
saw
people were defending random recoil. They want it to be random. They just don't want to learn. They don't want to learn recoil patterns.
But you cannot have.
I don't think they actually
recoil
understood what was
conversion. You
being
cannot have
explained.
that. It feels like shit. No one likes it.
Exactly. It's too much. It's way too much. It just fucks you up,
Oh yeah, and for vehicles too. If I recall correctly, in the alpha, and I think closed alpha as well, or closed alpha 2, the tanks could just snap on the other battlefield. But then in the beta, they add the turret system because people in the alpha said that's incorrect. The Panther has like a 5.5 degree per second turn rate, and the fact that the Tiger can turn faster than that just ruins my immersion. And then come beta, we get these stupid ass slow turrets where you could just run out of mouse room trying to do a 180, not even a 360.
It's almost intentional input lag. Is it not?
My God, the way I've seen it when I slow down is the way it seems to have been implemented is they have the turn rate on ticks or something, so they only permit you to move X amount per frame based on the limitation. So you hit that
movement and splits it up, right?
Yeah, it hits that.
That's
and then
so stupid.
In the next frame, you get to move that same amount basically, and then so you get these kind of micro stutters because you hit the limit for the current frame, and it won't let you move any further instead of smoothly moving it.
Is that kind of the same with the sliding? Because when you slide, you can't fucking turn around when you.
No, I think
that's a turn rate cap, isn't it?
Yeah, from BF1 they added.
It needs to be removed, but
no, I think it's fine because if without it you could just go 360 and spinning. I've done it before.
Good.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want.
What happened to BF1?
Good.
Well, if you have the ability to do that with your mouse, then you should.
Exactly.
Battlefield 1 slide was not. It wasn't overpowered because you could turn all the way around. Weren't there hitbox alignment issues and stuff like that?
Yeah, I
Which they
think
fixed.
Did they? Because
excuse me, they
allegedly
fixed.
Well, they put in the turn limit, so I can't tell if they fixed it or not.
Exactly.
But I really hate it when people distort their hitboxes like that by just doing these wild movements. I'm just like, get down from there. You're not a monkey.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan at all.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to be able to whip around and do a 360 while sliding, I'm gonna stand in support of at least reasonable turn rate limits while sliding until the tech is there to keep hitboxes aligned. I like moving around fast just as much as the next guy, but I think
the
ultimately
only way I could excuse these hyper fast movements is that the TTK was like Battlefield 3's. in which case your movements were meaningless. You would die anyways. So, good luck doing your stupid C crouch slide. I'm just gonna fire.
You have to have some aspect of movement, or else it's just not fun. Like you can't even jump peek properly in Battlefield 5 because they decoupled your recoil from the center of your screen. It just feels like trash.
Exactly. Movement is what separates good players from bad players.
It's a huge skill gap widening.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Especially
in
in Battlefield 5, you need good movement.
Now, as far as the slide turn rate cap, it doesn't have to be. I would be fine with them increasing the amounts you could turn by let's say 10 degrees each side, right? That's not much. It doesn't have to be 360. But when I can't even adjust 20 degrees to my right, and I know there's a guy there, and I'm at the turn rate cap, just looking at him, right? I'm looking at him, okay, gotta get out of the slide. I'm looking at you. Can't do anything yet. Hold on a minute. Don't shoot me. It just pisses me off. So, can we...
Yeah, an increase would be nice.
So
exactly what it is on that one.
My all-time favorite FPS game is Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which didn't have any insane movement or anything, but it had really good movement just because, your ADS strafe speed was actually really solid. I don't think, you need insane erratic movement to have good movement in a game. So that's just my take on it. I'm fairly indifferent about a slide ultimately. As long as you can just strafe reasonably, I think I'm fine with that. I'd much rather take that over.
Yeah, but we can only strafe quickly when we have light bolt on.
I just want to dance.
And even then, it's
okay. I just want to dance.
Shit.
Del Tara, I'm seeing a lot of dancing over there in Call of Duty when I watch you and Fizz play.
I basically follow what Fizz does because he's a god.
Fizz is
okay. What's the benefit of moving? Is there a big time skill gap in Call of Duty compared to Battlefield 5 when it comes to movement?
I would say no.
Well, movement is he dies. He doesn't die more often due to movement than the aim. I'm pretty sure because the way the gunplay works in that game is the movement gives you just enough time. We're talking milliseconds to land the shots on them, and they just slightly miss you because they didn't expect you to slide here or crouch here or jump shot here or whatever. It's all about so they end up hitting your leg, and then they get a leg modifier on that bullet, and then you get the kill on their chest. All these tiny things add up.
Yeah, I noticed the quick proning. I'm noticing that a lot, almost from Battlefield 2.
That old school drop shot, dude. Drop shot. I mean, that's just been a Call of Duty thing since forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you can get into drop shot into a jump and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, that game at least, just gunplay and movement aside, I think the problem is visibility over everything else. I don't really have an issue with, ultimately, if you want to talk skill gap or whatever, it doesn't come down to the guns or the movement or anything. Dude, if you're the better player, you can actually see people first. You're gonna end up winning. CS:GO doesn't have a high TTK or insane movement or anything. Dude, just let me see people, and everything else kind of irons itself out. I think that's really the first priority.
But my realism.
Go ahead.
Exactly.
Just but my realism, dude.
Now, people always tout Battlefield 1's visibility, but if you take spawning away from Battlefield 1,
no, Battlefield 1, it was
man,
have you seen the Sinai B flag when they're hiding underneath some of those?
Yeah.
No, it's impossible to see them without spawning. Holy crap!
So that's the problem we had here at the beginning of Battlefield 5. Just the library over there on what's that goddamn Devastation. They use that as an example.
A lot more than just an initial BF5 problem. It's an existing BF5 problem. The visibility in that game still sucks.
I think it's going to suck until Battlefield 6, to be honest with you.
I bet Battlefield 6
is that game's probably going to suck too.
Yeah. You think they're going to, get rid of their precious visual fidelity in favor of playability?
RTX.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What then you have the people who are but camouflage actually matters now. I was just
oh my God.
It's not fun. It's not fun getting doped by a guy lying in wait and it's just
you don't change your character uniform based on the map that's coming up every time.
Hey, let me just RP my game, all right? Let me go and hide in a bush with my M1 Grand and leave me alone.
Okay, and it's probably mostly the same on console, right? When it comes to visuals, like nothing's really different.
No, but they have snap aim, so I don't even need to look at the person. The person just needs to be on their screen.
Yep.
Hit
I mean,
left trigger off.
even without
True,
snap aim,
true.
just with regular aim assist, if you just move them a little bit, you can feel it slow down. And it's like, oh, there's a guy right there. Didn't see him, but
Yeah, or sometimes when you're aiming at someone else and it'll drag your shot away because someone's running behind them or
Oh god, I remember that when I used them to play on console.
I think aim assist is a big topic in FPS games now because it's like it's just as strong or stronger than BF5 in Modern Warfare. Like Modern Warfare's aim assist is
Modern Warfare is horrendous.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
ridiculous.
Yeah, Battlefield 5 is nowhere near on the same level as Modern Warfare's.
You
If
watch
you didn't
a
have snap aim
console
assist,
player with aim assist play that game, it's like, my God, this guy's an Olympic athlete. What is happening?
But if they didn't have it,
snap, perfect.
But imagine if they didn't have it, dude. You've got controllers coming up against keyboard and mouse.
well, you just don't have it as much as they have it right now. Is the
Well, it's
thing.
far more
that's what I'm
noticeable
saying,
in
but, like,
Modern Warfare because of all the one-shot weapons. Like one shot, like the marksman rifles, one shot for the chest. Like aim assist on that is so much more overpowered than what you would find in other games or other weapons.
Modern Warfare has slowdown. I'm not sure they have snapping because I remember when Modern Warfare in the beta and in launch, I tested this extensively, hoping to abuse it, and then I was disappointed by no.
I don't play a whole lot of Modern Warfare, but what I understand is that it doesn't have snap aim, but it's got a pretty strong aim assist, and the aim assist really helps with aim punch.
It's got sticky, and then the fun part about the aim assist is that it will even account for the enemy soldier's velocity, so you can continue to drag it, and you won't be stuck. Like if they're moving to your right, you can move it ahead of them, and it's like the sticky box will move ahead of them in anticipation of where they're going or something like that.
Well, okay,
which I think
here's the thing. So I watch a lot of Fizz. Okay, if you don't know who Fizz is, he streams Call of Duty right now. He's insane. Anyway, he came from console and he played on console without aim assist, and he knew how to use aim assist. He just didn't use it because he didn't want to, because it was genuinely just too easy for him. If you watch Fizz, you know why I'm saying that. He knows how to abuse aim assist, and it's essentially, he was saying, I value his perspective on it because he's really, really good on console and he's really, really good on PC. So he's been at both ends of the spectrum. So he essentially put it like this: controller with aim assist is the most brain dead. Then there's mouse and keyboard, and then controller without aim assist is harder than mouse and keyboard. Which, I mean, if you think about it, it's just obvious. Factually correct, because look at it. Like, what?
Yeah, it is not a very good control scheme.
It's just not. It doesn't make sense, really.
And I'm fine with aim assist existing if it has parity with mouse and keyboard, like especially with crossplay probably going to be the standard for gaming from here on out. I just wouldn't necessarily want to kill the enjoyment of potentially millions of people if they just can't compete at all. Like obviously in the case of Fizz, his understanding of how to play FPS is constant in between playing with mouse and keyboard versus controller. And I think to a degree, that should be enough. Your general game sense is what carries you as a good player, not necessarily.
Yes, but I think
I just don't want to get clapped by a console aimbot in BF6.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be a thing.
Aim assist needs to be.
I'm warming up right now.
But I don't think snap should be a thing. Even console players don't want snap to be a thing.
Snap delete.
Yeah, they don't want. No one wants it. But I think just a little toned down.
There's a fine. There's a line.
Because you have to have it. You literally have to have it, or else PC players will just run through console players. Like it's not. It's just.
Honestly,
the vast majority of console players,
where aim assist is on BF5 without snap aim, I think it was a good state. Honestly, before we got the snap aim introduced in the game, I think it was a good state.
I have no issue with it.
Well, I mean, there's just a lot of factors that go into it, like the game's overall time to kill, the game's movement. I'm sure for every game out there, there's a reasonable point to find where, mouse and keyboard and controller can have parity rather.
Let's just hope the next gen consoles have like, what was it, mouse and keyboard bundled. Just
Probably. It's already.
I'm moving to console, boys.
It's getting the gap
144
between
frames.
PC
Come on over.
and console is closing.
144
seen
frames,
before, dude.
no cheaters, mouse and keyboard support. Give it to me.
Come on over.
Hey, you got a point there. I mean,
Yeah, I'd be down for that as well.
So, I mean, oh man, well, with computer technology, never say never. I mean, who knows what these crazy maniacs are going to do on consoles, but now that they're being more and more like computers, but what about the frame rate for this new Xbox? Did they say anything? Max frame rate?
Man, if I start talking about it, someone's going to come at my throat, okay? I just want to put that out there. So essentially, it's going to be able to support 120 FPS. Go ahead and laugh at it. Go ahead and laugh. But that's only... Thank you. But it's not... Don't think of that as Battlefield 5 is going to, or Battlefield 6 is going to run at 120 FPS. That's going to be like if the devs decide to have a game that can run 120 FPS on a console, they can do it if they want to. It's just like my PC right here. Sure, you can say it can run a game at 300 FPS. But in reality, it's not going to run Battlefield 6 or Battlefield 5 at 300 FPS. It's not with my PC. So they're marketing it like this, 120 FPS next gen console. On Forza and cutscene, I suppose. Yeah, sure. Not on Battlefield 6 all the time.
Yeah.
You might hit 70.
Fingers crossed.
Here's the thing. A lot of people just use TVs. Not many people use gaming monitors with high refresh rates. So
I play on a TV. I have an old Xbox One, 2016 one.
All the extra frames are going to be pointless then.
Yeah, it's only going to output
60
FPS max. I got a 60 Hz TV. I'm balling over here, saving a little money.
What about you, Gabby? What do you play on?
I have a monitor.
Nice.
Yep.
She knows what she's doing.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Okay. And that technology, they're gonna add what, ray tracing? What kind of crazy stuff are they gonna add?
Again, think just Forza, like a first party game like Forza, and then think cutscenes. That's where I'm at right now until we actually get like good tests on the console. But that's just like whenever they say these big numbers and stuff. Well, quote unquote big numbers. I'm just thinking Forza cutscenes, first party games.
Okay,
not thinking Battlefield at all.
Is this cross-platform thing gonna happen or what?
Sure, hope it does.
I hope so.
For Battlefield?
For Battlefield.
I don't know if you guys heard me talk about it, but I think they should do for cross-platform
me,
play.
Doug.
What they should for cross-platform play is just have dedicated servers for each type of input. You're gonna have control only, mixed, and M&K only. So you can join the server that you want to join on. Now, eventually, in the long term, mix is gonna be the one that's gonna reign supreme, most likely. But at that point, I hope we have a good anti-cheat. So that's what I'm thinking, at least.
I don't know. Even if they could just have console crossplay, so Xbox and PS4 could play together.
Console bare minimum.
Yeah, isn't that what the? Well, we don't know if that's gonna happen, right? But
PC's dead, dude.
We're PC's dead.
I mean,
we've known that for a long time.
If console can play with console, dude, we're fucking out. Like we got no chance of holding a game.
If you remember the Battlefield 1 population, before they killed the population tracker, it was like PS4 and Xbox were about the same. Let's just say 20K each, right? Then PC at 8,000. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of different reasons for that, if you want to get into them. But the reasoning for me, at least that I believe, is that on PC you have more options for other FPS games that are better. We don't have all those options on console. And a lot of those games can't even run on console or aren't even on console. So you guys on PC, if the game is shit, you just go play a different game.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, we get deep discounts on console as well. For like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, those games that came out for free at some point for console. So that also helps to boost numbers. Battlefield 4, I believe, was a PSN Plus game a couple months ago. So stuff like that also helps.
Wait, how come they're not free for PC?
Don't ask me.
Thanks. Okay. Someone brought up in chat, what would be one thing you would change in Battlefield 5? Anybody can go anytime. Just what's the first thing you would take?
Team balancer.
Drastic performance increase.
Spotting.
TA off.
TAA. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. TAA off. Got it.
Yeah, TA off.
Battlefield 5? I didn't quite catch that.
The goddamn hackers.
Actually, yeah. The hackers. I actually forgot about the hackers for a second there.
Oh yeah, the ability to change the site's zoom. I want my own sites to be 1x.
I mean, here's the thing. Person in the chat, right? One thing. Come on.
Yeah.
There's
We're talking about Battlefield 5.
there isn't any one thing that would make me want to play that game.
Yeah, for me, it's a laundry list of things that needs to change. So just one thing, no.
Hardware banning cheaters that buy 30 different accounts would be, that'd be one thing.
But
Or just having
hardware
an
ID spoofing, man. Hardware ID spoofing. They've already.
Why can't they do what CS:GO does with their Prime system and set it up to a mobile phone?
You mean two-factor authentication?
You mean like Origin?
I don't. Yeah,
And
they
or
should.
like Steam get.
They should.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
Like
sure why
that
they
stuff.
don't.
Like,
yeah, I'm not sure why they don't, but they should, in my
everything.
opinion. It also helps stop your account from getting hijacked.
Gabe, and buy EA and Origin.
Because then we'll get fucking loot boxes and we'll be there spamming for nights all day.
Listen, at least I'm anti-cheat.
Dude, all they got is the Frostbite engine. Yeah, that's what's holding them up. That's what EA
needs to go.
That's what EA likes. That's what they crave.
Yeah. It will never go though. EA is using it in pretty much every title now.
Yeah.
Looks like even FIFA.
Yeah. The reason why is they want knowledge sharing. You see this with Ubisoft as well. I'm pretty sure they're using Anvil for everything. And so that all the studios come up with their own upgrades for Frostbite and pull that knowledge together and they share it.
What about
bring back the BF2 engine, dude?
The refractor engine? Oh my god!
I haven't heard anything bad about like
actually would take a lot of
Frostbite
refractor up to speed on like was it 4K support or whatever, like whatever toolkits the devs need. I'm sure they could do it. The question is it worth it?
Bring back the days when I could scroll through my inventory and see an actual image of the item from Google. That's what I want.
Tombstone Mercenary says, "How long of a developer cycle do you think is needed to unfuck the Battlefield as a franchise?" I think it just means like to make a good Battlefield game. How long of a developer cycle do we need to make a good Battlefield?
I would say at least 3 years.
Here's the thing: it's going to be at least 3 years, but you need the developers to be competent themselves.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly
no amount of time can fix incompetency when you're developing a game. So
What,
we'll see what they come up with.
BF3 was made in a year and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So
competency, dude.
It's not the amount of time.
Yeah.
But this next Battlefield isn't being made by the same people, is it? Like the same team?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It
Dice,
is.
Minus some
with them.
competent people.
How long did they work on BF1 actually? I think it was 3 years.
Yeah, that was probably an
normally they
entirely
start production
different
of
group
the
of
next
people.
game in the middle of the current one. So midway through Battlefield 4, that's probably when Battlefield 1. Battlefield 4 popped out.
How long did they work on
20.
Battlefield 5?
Probably
2
as
years
soon
or
as
less.
Battlefield 1 started.
With things going on in the background at EA and with engine
Staff
problems.
turnaround since that game though has been insane.
I feel like the only time they're gonna have a good Battlefield game come out is when they make a new engine for it.
Or not a new engine. I honestly think if they want to stay with Frostbite, they should just make one Battlefield game and they just keep supporting it like Siege.
That's a good idea.
Because what they keep doing is that they release a buggy game. They fix everything in that game. Then we get the new BF title and it has all the same bugs that we've had in the previous titles
They have to
all
spend
over
their
again.
entire time fixing bugs.
So
rather than
yeah,
coming out with
just
content.
make one game.
My great fear of them making the one game is imagine if the one game they made was Battlefield 5. Imagine that.
I mean,
Still could be.
they'll fix it eventually. They would fix it
5
eventually. You know?
As Battlefield 5 as an existing entity has potential. It would
Yeah,
just
it
never
does.
be realized.
Yeah, because the boomers, the realism people.
Because of the boomers.
Excuse me, realism people.
Also, live service sucks.
Yes.
And there's
Yeah,
PTS
I
on
don't
this
want
set.
it.
No, I mean, live service
I want
can be
DLCs.
good when they're giving you good
Yeah,
content.
when you're competent, but when you're DICE, live service does
Yeah,
suck.
like look at
DICE, dude.
Rainbow Six, right? They give you new operators, they rework bad maps, and mostly everyone's happy. But look at Battlefield. Skins, and then maybe a couple of mediocre maps.
I think to get to that point, though, it needs some sort of competitive scene. Would you agree? Like integrated as a game.
Well, shit.
I mean, to get to the attention that Siege
Can
gets.
of worms.
All right, to get to the attention level that Siege gets and the amount of dev support it has.
Yeah, but
I think it needs
Siege
to feel
is built
integrated.
off being a competitive game.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The comparison.
If
we're making a comparison,
doesn't matter. If you can make a game good, people will play it competitively. It doesn't have to be built around competitive. You can have certain modes that work for competitive play. Now, here's the thing. Look at every other game, including Call of Duty. What do they have that Battlefield doesn't have? A competitive scene. It's the one thing that Battlefield doesn't have, and it's such a stark difference with the popularity of the games. It's not even funny. People watch CDL and Call of Duty, and CDL's not that popular, but we're talking like 30,000, 50,000 viewers. Battlefield 5 is lucky to get 1,000 viewers. Okay?
Well, at one point, Battlefield was, I mean, it wasn't a top competitive game, but it had potential. It had a track.
Popular was Battlefield 3 competitive, as far as I know. And you want to know who ran that? The community did. Battlefield 4, I think same thing. Yeah, it was competitive. But then
BF4 got to as far as ESL, but then no one watched it because, I
mess.
believe EA did not, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there was any real, advertisement for it from EA DICE. I want to say there wasn't much about it, so no one knew about it.
No,
the only thing they knew about it was the sweat.
Kind of like that was the problem with BF5 at the beginning.
No, Battlefield 4 advertising. They even tried to market the esports thing with the defuse mode. The problem with Battlefield 4 competitive was it was so unstable. It was so prone to crashing. No one could play it. In fact, was it? I think one of the Team Sim members, one of the leaders, he could not play Battlefield 4 at all because Battlelog kept crashing. For like 6 months, he could not play because he couldn't launch the game.
Battlelog. Anybody actually miss Battlelog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for stat tracking.
Hit or miss with me.
I mean, people could DDoS you through Battlelog to troll you, so I guess that's a con. But I do miss it for the most part.
Bring it back, huh? Damn. That shit was so bad at the beginning. I couldn't even launch a goddamn game. Even sometimes there's a lot of weird bugs in Hardline. They were really pushing it on Hardline. And but hey, at least it had a stable beta at that point because of BF4 and DICE LA. But I mean, now what the hell are we gonna do? We don't have DICE LA anymore. We don't even know what they're working on.
Probably something with Apex.
I'd like to see them bring out their own genre of own first-person game.
No, it's an original. I thought they said that they'd be working on their own thing, not Apex.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to move into Apex if they needed to, so maybe they don't need him to right now.
Fuck Apex.
What would Apex need help with?
I don't know.
Apex
content
needs a respawn mode.
Respawn.
If Apex had a respawn game mode, i.e., imagine if Apex had 5v5 or 10v10 domination. Holy shit, that would be so good.
People are going to immediately bash you for saying, and then just immediately say, but it's Titanfall 2. I disagree. I know it's a wrong statement, but I'm just saying people are going to do that immediately.
It's just.
It's the same people who made Titanfall. Did you expect something to be?
But Apex is essentially Titanfall. It really is. If you look at Titanfall 2, the sounds are the same. So much is the same. It's just crazy.
All right, so now that we're on the BR subject, let's talk about
Firestorm.
When we want to go
Don't even fucking talk about it. Don't. No.
1v1 Firestorm?
Yeah, bro.
Oh man, what do we even begin?
Sad about
I stayed up till 5 a.m. to play Firestorm because if I knew I did, my cat would
blew it.
Where the fuck are you, Anders? And as soon as I spawned in to Firestorm, I was like, okay, this will be alive for about 3 hours. And yeah. Which is a shame because honestly, Firestorm is fun. I enjoyed Firestorm. It's just the inventory sucks dick, obviously.
Looting.
It's horrible.
Lack of guns, yeah.
A Firestorm I enjoyed it. It was fun. I knew there was no chance in hell that it was going to survive. Not a chance.
No, there's no evidence behind it that it was going to survive. We kept
boomers don't play BR, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I think BR is honestly kind of, it's kind of coming down a little bit. Like Fortnite's not really as hype as it was. PUBG is just on a death spiral. Apex is on a death spiral. It's just, I think BR popularity is coming down a little bit, but it could just bounce back. I don't know.
Well, Call of
I
Duty's
don't think
coming.
I've never understood why
I think-
VR
yeah,
has
it's-
competitive appeal.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
The
what'd you say?
ability to outplay someone, and the stakes are
Ability
high.
to
You
out-camp
one
somebody.
death, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
but that
you
whole
seen Apex
situation,
have you seen Apex?
that whole
competitive?
situation is like
garbage.
independent of your skill.
It's campy
Like,
as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like Apex has some of the best movement in an FPS game right now, and Apex competitive boils down to extremely highly skilled players that can actually aim and fight, camping in a building because they're too afraid about placement. It's like, fuck.
Okay.
RNG better, easy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so Firestorm's complete trash, and they've kind of left it here.
now Warzone's coming out.
1v1 kind of situation now.
1v1 me Halvoid doesn't sound as good as 1v1 me.
What'd you say at the end there?
1v1 Rust or 1v1 Halvoid.
But okay, so are we all in agreement that Battlefield should never have a BR again, or should it be a
Yeah.
standalone?
Never have it again.
Yeah.
What
It's
is it?
very
standalone,
obvious that they were doing it as a
it's-
bandwagon hype thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like they tacked it on
It's
because
rad.
we have to.
It felt like that right when Lars Gustafsson said that they're gonna have Royale. You can see it kind of in his face
I
at
mean,
the time.
Oh man.
The
That
thing
was
Can we
so
talk about the
Battlefield-
marketing?
We could talk about marketing,
Can
sure.
we talk about the marketing of
Oh,
Battlefield
boy.
5? It is actually
There
a
was
case
marketing?
study. Exactly. It is on how not to market a video game. You literally told people not to buy the game.
Failed 101.
Case closed.
And I paid for the
Trevor
deluxe one
Noah
too.
is making your entire
Trevor Noah.
potential buyers.
I'm a
cringe.
gamer.
Yeah. And
I
then
love
talking
playing
about your
Battlefield.
children
Yeah,
and
bro.
Fortnite.
I get home and I play Battlefield. No, you don't. You get home and you
He
look
actually,
at your
he actually like
Rolls-Royce.
says the wrong thing. He's like talking about how he plays as a support, and he's like talking about gadgets that support doesn't have access to that he uses as
Yeah,
support.
wasn't
Like
he
he had
talking
no
about
idea what he was
Battlefield
saying.
1?
He was
talking about Battlefield 1, if I recall correctly. He was mentioning stuff like
Yeah, I remember
behemoths,
that,
right?
Yeah, it was like, you know
Bunch of
how I
haters.
run around with support with the anti-tank mines, and you know that's what Assault has, so it's like just cool, dude.
Here's a controversial opinion.
He needs to
I
read off
think-
the boy. Better.
I think what they need to do, with the next Battlefield game, they need to pull an Apex, not say shit. Don't say anything, and just bam, just it's out one day. That would be cool. I think that would be cool for Battlefield.
Yeah, but that's such a
Basically what
big
they did with
risk.
BF5, right?
I know it's such a big risk, but I mean, your franchise is on the verge of death, so
That's one of the reasons why I started the show, is because this franchise has been going for like 10 plus years, and then now we're all of a sudden, as technology and player bases all change all the time, this game in particular, which should be really popular because it's one of a kind and it has all these aspects and features that a lot of games just will never dare to have, it's starting to die now, and that really discourages me. And I'm afraid that one of my favorite franchises is going to die here the next year. Like,
Well, that's my thing. If the next Battlefield's trash, are you guys gonna be playing the one after that one, or are you just gonna
Sure.
be done with Battlefield?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
I think it's a little absolutist to just be like, oh, I'm done with the franchise. Like if the game's good, I'll play it. Like
If the game's bad, I'll play it.
Case in point.
All
Yeah,
right.
but I
then.
wouldn't refuse to play Battlefield like on principle.
It's just got aspects of an FPS that you can't find anywhere else. It's just I wish
Yeah.
that they executed a
Yeah.
little bit better this time around.
I hope that was it like Hell Let Loose and Postscripted and all those other realism shooters actually succeed and suck away the people from Battlefield 5, and then hopefully the people who
I
care
hope
about
so.
playability can come back in. But
I hope so, but I don't think it will happen.
I don't think it will
today.
happen. I think what will happen is Battlefield 5's remaining player base just gets sucked away, and there's no one.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
not
Have
to
a
be,
player base? Bro, I logged on this morning. There were 2 conquest servers East Coast.
Oh, speaking of
11 in the morning, bruh.
Oh.
when I
Saturday.
I logged in today
You got
specifically
service?
to test
Get me
some
outta here.
bugs regarding the bar because we found out that the console modifier for recoil wasn't working, and I went in to test if the bar's slow rate of fire modifier wasn't working. I went to the server browser. Server had 63 out of 64 on it. I clicked join. What do I find? I'm the only one in the server.
Uh-oh.
Got you
Ooh,
good.
Before deja vu.
Battlefield 4 bug. Not
What's with the
bug.
servers dying late at night when like there's nowhere else to go? They just end after a map.
Server
That's
reset,
That's kind of
maybe?
annoying.
Probably
Why
men
money
going
to
to
keep
bed.
open MPD servers,
Yeah, it's
you know?
it's bedtime, Boke.
Time to go to bed.
The
Honestly, I think
systems
the
for
US
joining like people into servers have been terrible every game. Like
Yep.
everyone has always opted to use the server browser, but how many people know to do that versus who just joins into an empty
Quick
server and
match,
it's like, oh, this
though,
game's dead.
If you use quick match on PC, the whole flow is like finding squad, finding match, right? If you alt tab out, you can never matchmake into the match. You will find a squad and then it just hangs. You just won't be able to find a game until you back out and try again, which is what I find particularly stupid because you go into Siege or Modern Warfare, you can alt tab out while you're waiting for it to queue up and you won't have any problems. Only Battlefield 5 do you somehow have a problem where alt tabbing out stops the matchmaking flow. It's stupid.
Yeah, and especially when you want to, grow a player base, like maintain a player base that's not like a hardcore daily player, like, LOL, just use server browsers, not a solution. Like, you got to have good matchmaking.
Yep. I
And
also
just
think.
Oh, go ahead.
I also think it's very important to have more than one weekly playlist. Okay, the effects of the game's playability almost solely rests on the weekly playlist, and I'm fucking over it, man.
Who chooses these rotations, bro?
This week's rotation is
Pacific War
the
still.
weirdest.
Such a fucking joke.
I don't understand
Get
who
me
chose this
out.
one. It's like 2 breakthrough, 2 conquest, 2 breakthrough.
Let's
I
throw
don't get
all
it.
the worst maps in a playlist and play them all week. How does that sound?
It almost
They
seems on
need to have-
purpose.
Not touched.
They have a
we need
large
side
map
by side,
playlist?
man.
They need to have a large map playlist with.
Because they go
conquest
off
and
of
breakthrough.
data, and they go off of data on like what the popular maps are, except they're getting data that all the Pacific maps are the most popular because those are always on the playlist. So their data is like completely incorrect.
Imagine just being like that dumb.
Give us 24/7 side by side.
Oh man.
I'm just renaming my
please.
origin
Give me that.
tag to side by side and starting a server.
Start an RSP, yeah.
Easy.
We've actually got a clan in OCE called A1, and they're a bunch of bots, but they bought an account and they called it A1 Battlefield V server number this, and they've just got it constantly 24/7 now on a server. So that's kind of a good way of doing it. But you have to
Modern
buy
problems
another,
require modern solutions.
yeah, you have to
Okay.
buy another account of Battlefield.
That's a really interesting solution. Actually,
My little brother has an account he doesn't
It
use.
worked though. It's generally full.
This is how you
but
pay for the rental servers now.
yeah, you buy an account.
We got Outpost come back. You guys looking forward to that?
no.
It's gonna be a no from me, Doug.
Nah.
Outpost of Megalog.
How about Rush?
Give me
Ducks
some
in for
grind.
Rush. Rush come back this chapter.
Rush is such an abortion of what it used to be. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, fuck Rush.
It's so terrible compared to what it used to be. It's fun. I'll play it. It's fun. I'll play it, but it's comparative. Oh, give me grind. Grind is always fun.
Dom.
You grind, you're getting Fortress too.
Any Fortress fans in the
That's
chat?
Airborne
okay with
only?
Fortress.
Airborne only? Anybody?
No.
Airborne?
No, are you kidding me? Airborne
I'll
is
uninstall if that comes to the
Airborne
game.
is so
Julian,
crazy.
Airborne only, I'm
I'm
uninstalling
sure
for a
I'll-
week.
Imagine parachuting down. You can't fire your gun, but all these MMGs are staring at you and they're just hosing you down
Yeah.
before you can ever shoot. It is terrible.
Yeah. Well, what,
Frontlines
well,
gain represent.
what about that weird game mode at the end of Grand Operations? What was that one called
Final
again?
Final Stand.
They
the
want-
one where you.
Final stand, yeah.
Final
I've
stand.
never played Final Stand in
Me
1,300 hours of the
I
game that
got
I've had.
one Final
I
Stand.
played it
2300
3
hours.
times.
I
One
only got
time I got
twice.
15 kills and we lost.
Yeah, that was
Final
against
Stand.
me.
Yeah, that was against you.
I was there.
It was against you.
I didn't get a
There's,
single kill. I died.
There's some temporal. I don't know if it was temporal or Battlefield Bulletin, but one of them tweeted out that there's like a scrapped
Yeah,
game mode Yeah, standalone thing. It was supposed to be like a best of 5 with final stand being the last one, tiebreak, something like that. With the other modes being, I can't remember the other modes, but like TDM domination in there too. Would have been nice. It would have been cool to see. I would have played it.
But that's cool for NA and all that to get all these different things. But if you guys come to OCE, you will realize that we don't get this stuff here.
No, you don't.
They come out, but our maps is Pacific War, constantly, and one Conquest server. We don't. I've never played a TDM. Never. I've never played.
Me neither.
I've never played a squad TDM or whatever it's called. I've never. Only ones I've played is literally grind, conquest, one round of Grand Ops, and that was the first one, and I left it, and then breakthrough. They're the only ones we get. Never played it.
Wow.
Because there's no servers here.
What happened to domination?
Remember the other week when the TDM Pacific servers came out? That still didn't even start up in this. I think it got to a max of like 8 players.
To be fair, I thought Pacific TDM was pretty dead in NA too, because I queued into it last week just to try out the Type 2A because everyone kept saying, how it's you've never touched it, so you don't know how easy. So I was going in there to level up Type 2A and compare it to the Suomi, and I couldn't get full game. So,
okay, you'd be rushed with MCOM centers back. Let me plant the fucking bomb and camp the shit.
You want to camp? You want the giant artillery things, and you just climb inside the artillery's base stand, and you just keep arming from inside.
I think they patched that out, but that was a good time.
Oh man, they patched it?
I thought they did. Maybe for frontlines. I don't know about Rush.
I'd be sad if they did. People don't check it.
Do you think domination died because, competition died in turn?
No.
I think
domination always dies in Battlefield games because number one, all the sweaties are always in domination servers. So the chances and that there aren't many domination servers to begin with. I think the most domination servers I've ever seen in Battlefield 5 was 6, and that was probably a month into the game.
True.
And by 3 months, there was one, and then there was one every 2 weeks, and then I've never seen one since. So the sweaties are always in there, and I think that there's just a weird, there's a weird dogma just somehow preventing these people from joining dom servers domination or COD game mode. I'm gonna play Conquest.
It's because they can't sit 400 meters back.
I think another thing that didn't help with Dom was the map design. I think the map design was pretty poor.
Dom is for ZK Chads, okay? Not for boomers.
Yeah, it actually.
Okay.
Also, I just don't think there's enough players. If you combine console, PC, and Xbox player counts, you could do that easily.
Listen, all you need is the population of China. That's all. That's the only thing keeping the game going right now, man. You hit West Coast servers at 3 a.m. It's just 150 pingers. This game's completely dead.
You hit OCE servers any time of the day, and it's high pingers.
Okay, I mean, DICE has stated that they will never add a ping limiter or any type of region lock in Battlefield 5. They already said they're not going to do it, and it's because of what Boca Rosa said. It's pretty much because
there's just not
the player
enough
base. There's not enough
Americans playing the game.
I mean, I'm actually kind of fine with that because honestly, a lot of my good memories in Battlefield is playing EU BF1 because Frontlines died out in NA so fast that I just had to play EU, and I had EU friends to play with.
Yeah, and some there are clans that are international communities. How would they play with, internationally if there are ping limits? Now, I could see a compromise. You had a party, you could go to any region that the party had a member in, and if you were solo, you can just hop out of the region. So, friends could still play with friends, but people trying to exploit high ping or whatever couldn't, unless they had friends. Of course,
that's we have a good RSP system where let the admins decide.
Oh my god.
Radical idea, but yeah.
Hashtag region lock China.
What do you guys want in Battlefield 6? What do you guys want?
Could I have Battlefield 4 but better?
Period.
It should not have, it shouldn't have taken Activision and Infinity Ward to give us Battlefield. Okay, that's the disappointing part because Modern Warfare kind of scratches the Battlefield itch. much more so than Battlefield 5 does, at least.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
kind of in that
a
camp at this point.
USAS with frag rounds again.
Stop.
Give it to me.
All right, and Nocturne, what do you want for time period for BF6?
Can we just go modern, please?
Modern? Enders?
Please?
It has to be modern, 100%. But don't make it. Don't do like. Okay, here's my worry. Okay, they go modern, but they make it a time period where they're once again restrained by history. So like they could go modern, but it's the some modern war, like the Iraqi War, something like that. They have to go modern with just like Battlefield 4. There's no history time behind it.
Yeah. So people don't complain about map design or how skins look.
Opens up your possibilities to a point where I can't even put it in words, the amount of freedom you can get. There's no fucking, well, in World War II, you see, the tank treads actually had 3 spikes across instead of 2. Like, there's none of that, okay?
Exactly, yeah.
Boca?
Revolutionary War.
Stop.
It's obviously modern. The answer's obviously modern, dude.
Dynamics.
I'd also be okay with Battlefield.
Definitely modern.
2143.
Uh-oh.
But they will not do
That'll
that.
be after
I think
modern.
it's too early. I think it's too early for 2143.
I don't think it's really. I just think it would be ballsy as shit.
2143 with these people, I highly doubt. Because if they're going to do 2143, can you imagine them trying to? Everything's got to be realistic. 2143.
Oh no.
Well, I think that because there was 2142, I think some of the people that play 2142 are playing Battlefield 5, and they would just go, "Oh, okay." Like I think there's enough of a distinction there to where they wouldn't be like, "Okay, we have to make 2143 realistic." But then again, they probably would.
All right, Gabby.
Because
what do you think?
Let's go medieval.
Ooh.
Let's get a sword. No, I'm kidding. Modern.
Mordhau's already out.
Chivalry, dude.
Mordhau, true. Let's go back even further. Prehistoric.
Battlefield.
Modern, yeah. Modern for sure.
Sticks and stones. Let's go.
The lost after OP.
I just want to beat someone with a club or something.
Dude,
I
a
don't know.
ZH?
Oh well, Battlefield 5 already has that, I guess.
2 shot by a rock, bro.
Slingshot, yeah.
Battlefield
play Mordhau, dude.
Versus Grug.
What do you think?
Mordhau's the game you're looking for.
Mordhau, yeah.
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
pretty
they have
cool,
to go
man.
modern. I don't know. I don't think they should go futuristic. They'd probably make a mistake like they did with Call of Duty. Which game was that where they went futuristic?
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite
Warfare. Yeah.
Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, what one haven't they done in futuristic?
Yeah, true.
Deltara, what are you thinking?
Oh yeah, so on that note, my modern itch is pretty much scratched by Modern Warfare, so I'm actually curious with all these, futuristic failures that have happened in the past few years, like they'd hopefully have something to learn from, and I'd be curious what 2143 would be.
What do you think, Chicken?
It's too early for 2143, and somebody in chat said Bad Company 3, and I really fucking hope this team doesn't make Bad Company 3 because it will ruin the nostalgia of Bad Company 2.
Agreed.
Okay,
I think
boomer.
Okay, dude, go to bed. Go to bed. They should just make like a Desert Storm style game, you know what I mean? Go back to their fucking just standard modern day shooter. You're in the fucking desert. You're in God knows where. Just give us guns that work.
And cover? No cover in the desert.
Yeah, no cover. Just don't worry about cover. We've got SARs.
You can build fortifications though. Come on.
Oh,
yeah. Build a sandbag.
Remember?
Press E to fill your sandbag. Am I right?
Stop.
Oh no.
As long as it's got gas masks in it, I'm happy, dude. All right.
All right, Energize. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking pick up where Battlefield 4 left off, so it's gonna be near future. It's not like drastically in the future, but I'd be content with a 2043. You can pick up off of that. You could be like, this is what happened after Battlefield 4. That's a storyline right there, and you get emerging powers off of that. So you can still make up like whatever type of storyline you want to go with, and then you can have it take place wherever in the world you want it to take place in.
Did BF4 have that? BF4 had that single player, right, with some specific characters.
Battlefield 4's single player took place in 2024.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, a little bit fast Battlefield 4. It doesn't have to pick up immediately after the campaign, but I'm talking about the end of the DLC in Final Stand DLC. You got like the introduction of some of the futuristic weapons. They're not like crazy futuristic, but I think like having a mixture of that sort of level would be pretty neat.
So like
I'd be okay with that.
2-esque.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 near future. Like I said, 2043 type of thing. I think it'd be pretty chill. You get a lot of modern day stuff in there, and then the devs get free to experiment with some different stuff with it as well.
I bet you that's the title.
God, what kind of cancer gadgets would they come up with?
Oh man.
Well, listen, railguns got nerfed. Okay, don't worry about that. They just keep them nerfed. We're good.
UCAV 2.0.
Imagine the squad call-ins.
No squad call-ins. No,
They
don't
would
gotta do
add
that.
some like
They would add more remote
Get
weapons,
decimated.
for
they would
sure.
add like some sort of laser claymore or some bullshit.
Fucking satellite laser strike. Fuck.
Okay, like the UCAV was honestly great for like anti-vehicle stuff though. Like you could be a support and not be helpless. That was nice.
Yeah, but
they would never.
You know,
do
obviously,
that.
like there's limits that should be taken. Like it probably shouldn't have been as good as it was against infantry, but I definitely don't see like more futuristic gadgets as like inherently being a bad thing.
I mean,
no,
I think
it's not inherently a bad thing. But you know,
the UCAV I think would have been infinitely more tolerable if you could shoot it down. You know, it's this huge thing. It's not that small. It's made out of paper or polymer or whatever. Like, just let us shoot it down. But no, it's apparently invincible. Even though the swabs can be shot down.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yes.
I think pretty cool. I think that'd be a good way to go.
What are you thinking, KHD?
My ultimate next BF that would never ever happen. Not only is it like a BF4 successor, but they name it BF5 with like a 5 instead of a V. So everyone just forgets what current BF5 is, and it's just erased from the human memory. And it's like a good game. That's my imaginary timeline that will never happen.
that would be the ultimate meme.
This guy's a dreamer. I like this guy.
Which one?
The dreamer.
There was only one.
Or Nocturne, the one that you talked about, where you see like the BF and then the 2 starting to come in, then it just like flips over and turns into a 5.
That's my dream for the BF3 remake or whatever. Oh man.
Don't touch Battle. Don't remake Battlefield 3. They
Yeah.
would butcher it. They would just.
They would butcher
They
it.
fuck it up,
They would
man.
butcher it, dude. They would butcher it. They would make like. Oh,
It'd be
I don't
just
wanna
like
think of
the COD Modern Warfare remake.
Yeah.
Not this most recent one, but you
Remastered,
replay it and you're like,
The
wow,
one where
Remastered.
bundled
They
they didn't do
with-
this
yeah,
one justice.
Yeah.
Do we think they're going to continue on with the fucking Roman numerals like they did with V?
I don't give a fuck what they
No.
do. Give me
I
the
don't
game,
think
Brad.
so.
Victory, my guy.
Or Nocturne,
Well,
like
At
the
least
other,
the V lets KHT use the 5 for his dream.
All right.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Could you imagine? Like some people, have you seen the speculation where Battlefield? It's going to be Battlefield VI for Vietnam.
Vietnam, you said?
Yeah, Battlefield VI because it's Battlefield 6, but it's going to be in Vietnam. So
I don't want to.
Cringe, dude. Nah, man.
dude, visibility bad enough in Battlefield 5. Could you imagine just going into the jungle, never seeing anyone? and just
Vietnam
spraying
should
Every
be
match
stuck
just
as a
like
DLC,
Solomon
bro.
Islands.
Oh wait, but thanks to attrition, you only have one magazine to spray with, and then you just got to go in with your knife.
Yeah.
The napalm call in, get wrecked.
Hey,
Over-
Predator
You think
call.
firebombs are bad now? Mm-mm.
Over all the Battlefield shows I've done, and I've asked this question to many of you actually, and one interesting one was from Flackfire. He said the Korean War. Now this is again based on a historical war,
No.
but
Nah.
They can't do it, man.
they can't.
Get away
I
from
don't think they can.
Get away from historical wars a little bit, please.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
already have, like, if you say Korea, people have an expectation right away.
Yeah.
If it doesn't meet expectations, it's a
That's
failed
even
game.
closer to the
Yeah.
boomer's
Everyone just
heart.
dies by
Better not go
corona at the end
there.
of it.
That was like one of the rare ones I heard. But my idea is Battlefield, like Battlefield universe, where it's not just on Earth. It is on different planets, and it's like in an
Oh,
alternate
God.
universe. Huh?
No.
Space battles?
No.
Tony Shoulders?
Tony or
And
just
at
call
what
it
point does that
Battlefield.
cross
be-
too much into what they've done with Battlefront?
That sounds
Yeah.
futuristic to me, kind of.
Way futuristic.
Yeah, no.
I
thanks.
mean,
The features now, Space Force.
Yeah,
I
I,
was
think we should
thinking
leave
Battlefield
that to
Space.
Battlefront too.
I think that game was too ambitious to have ready for the next game cycle.
We get rockets with anime characters on the front of it. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Actually, isn't Star
Elon
Wars
Musk.
supposed to
Elon
be
Musk
like-
just did it.
Face from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Let Star Wars do Star Wars. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, I want to move on to another subject here. Going back to BF5, the whole attrition system. Whoa boy. Okay, so we have health attrition, we have ammo attrition, we also have I guess vehicle attrition, right? So over the time they have with the 6.2 update, they have kept the the nerfed ammo attrition. We still have, or they buffed it, I guess. No, nerfing is the correct term. Yes. So we still have the correct ammo counts from before, which is nice. I don't have to worry about it. I agree with what KHT said in his post. But now that we have the ammo's less annoying, we guys still gotta worry about the whole vehicle attrition and the health attrition. I want to get your guys' thoughts on first the vehicle side of it. Is it fine that you guys are just, you do your bomb run, you go back to the base, you don't have to land or anything, you just have to fly through the poles, you get your ammo back, and then you repeat, rinse and repeat. Do you guys still like that, or do you have like other ideas for
just go back
recharging?
to BF4 having an ammo pool? That should work pretty well.
Imagine infinite bomb runs. Oh
No,
my
that's what
god!
you have right now.
Just put it on a recharge,
Like,
just like
look
BF4
at
did.
this way.
Recharge.
BF1's Ilya
10-minute
took
recharge.
seconds to get all its bombs back. But when BF5 launched, it only took 15 seconds to get the bombs back. Okay, that was dumb. And the Ju-88A on launch had more bombs than Ilya and could bomb 3 times faster.
Balanced.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Make it so they run out of bullets and can't use any more. You've had your run.
Got to ditch your plane.
Well, here's the
See
thing.
you later.
Carpet bombing, in my opinion, has absolutely no place in Battlefield games at all. So
Planes in general don't.
Yeah, because the whole
we could extend it to that if you want, but
yeah.
I think
Plane v plane's fine, but yeah, it's the whole bombing of infantry is.
The trouble with plane v plane is that they're up there in the sky playing their own game while everyone else on the ground is playing their own.
That's
game.
part of it, though. You have to control the sky.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing. You have to add some sort of skill gap that you can into actually dogfighting. There's fucking nothing in Battlefield 5, which is why I don't even bother flying in this game, because it's pointless. In Battlefield 4, if you were the better pilot, you could essentially just flex on people, right? If they were just worse than you, they didn't know how to speed control, they didn't know cuts, they didn't know switches, they didn't know how to take themselves off a radar with ECM, they didn't know how to dodge stingers, they didn't know how to do all this thing. The better pilot would come out 100% of the time, and so be it.
And then dogfighting itself introduces its own problems. Like, all right, you kill the other plane. What do? Like, fly in circles until the enemy respawns again. Like, it doesn't sound that exciting to me. I think planes themselves presents a problem to Battlefield, and it's a real inherent one that you just don't solve. Like, there's one plane that should be in Battlefield, and it's the AC-130, because it flies slow enough where we can shoot it down with AA, and yeah, it's just gone once you kill it. That was.
But I like the aspect of the planes being able to take out vehicles, especially the vehicles that sit back on hills, because sometimes infantry can't fucking get close enough to it. So if you have plane v plane and then plane v vehicles, sweet. But I don't know how they would.
Do you remember when they nerfed how quickly you can get explosives from the crates? Would you guys rather go back to what it was before, or the extended, like, I don't know, is it a minute and a half now?
Did they change it? Because I thought it was still 45 seconds.
It's 45 seconds still.
Yeah, so they haven't changed it back, right?
Just like I said,
wasn't it less time before?
It was 30, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, are you guys talking about the ammo crate, the boxes?
Yeah.
The station. Yeah, the station.
Yeah, because I mean, tanks got buffed. They're really strong, and I mean, having more explosive would be nice, but then there's also explosive spam. So
I love that. I love how they put the ammo box on those tank stations. I really like that. It's more of an incentive to actually go and build those things for some tank players. But do you think that was a good move, or get rid of those?
Should it be longer? Should it be shorter than what it is now? Is it good now?
I think should just do ammo 2.0, like in the BF1 CTE. It was a great idea. they put into Black Ops 4, works well there. They have it to an extent in MW, and it works well there too. Like,
yeah, those stations are just mind bait, and they still are mind bait. It's just people have gotten used to checking them. Back before, when people were like, "Oh, let me just walk up to the station. Oh, there are 3 tripwires here," or "Oh, there are 3." The station blows up, and anyone who ran in there to grab stuff all die with it. It was dumb. But of course, you got people saying, "But my tactics, sabotaging the supply depot, is like War 101."
You got to keep up your supply line in war.
And that's the thing.
That's so cringe.
In war, your supply lines are supposed to be so good. Your soldiers do not run low on ammo. They are supposed to be topped off constantly. So this whole attrition thing is far from realistic. If you are low on ammo, you are in the wrong place.
Your army's shit.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is the ammo stations are fine personally to reduce the flare spam and grenade spam and stuff like that, explosive spam. However, I think the ammo or the med station should be lowered a little bit. 45 seconds is pretty long, especially if you have a bot and medics on your team who don't know how to press a button to give you more ammo.
You're killing teamwork, man.
Yeah, but they're not even playing the game. So like I've had quite a few instances of I just got to sit there and wait for the timer to go down, and I'm going to get killed no matter what. When I got a medic right next to me who just doesn't know how to press the button, that doesn't run crates for me to grab ammo or grab health off of them. And then also, as
How
for
hard
like,
can it be to press a button? Battlefield players show.
No, I'm not joking though. I can find some clips. All right,
I know.
Yeah,
I've been through that before. I think everyone here has. It is not a joke. There are people who ignore you constantly.
So it's always the people that have the 2A. If they have the 2A and they're a medic class, you are not getting.
I ignore people that are dead on the ground. Honestly,
but you're enders, bro.
I never revived anyone.
We expect nothing less. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing.
It's different from healing.
The animations kill it for me. If there wasn't an animation, I'd be reviving the whole fucking team. I'd be resurrecting people all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. But then people are like, it stops the res rate. It's got to be balanced. Reviving has to be balanced, man. Except now no one does it. Congratulations.
What do you guys think about the infinite revive? Like you just get killed, get back up, get killed, get back up.
Yeah, get rid of it.
It should be like Battlefield 4, where
Battlefield
if you're
4.
killed within. Yeah, if you're killed.
Who asked for that change?
I don't think it's that bad in this game because of animations. I mean, in BF3 it was a disaster.
The Zerg gets stronger.
Like you just keep getting revived.
Battlefield 3 had infinite.
Like the revive time was real.
Battlefield 4, it was like if you died within 5 seconds of getting revived, you couldn't be revived anymore.
Everything in this game's been changed to support Zerging. Like if you get if you're a solo player trying to hold off a Zerg, you kill one.
Man.
They just revive him infinitely. You can't chip
the
away.
The more people that are together, the more teamwork there is, man.
Oh fuck, that's right,
Bruh. Dude.
The amount of people I've seen that's basically say Zerging equal teamwork is terrible, or at least they'll say like people who go off on their own are not helping the team or whatever. I'm just like, listen, you think he's gonna follow?
Meanwhile, I'm 96 and 8.
Yeah, like if it makes more sense to send
Listen,
this
Katie
one
doesn't
guy
matter.
to
I'll still
frag
cap your
at one
flags,
flag.
kid.
Yeah,
yeah, PDFO, dude. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. All right. What about health attrition? Get rid of it or what?
Get rid of it,
dude. Delete it. Go the fuck away, dude.
Get it out from the game.
Yeah, if they're not going to delete it, decrease the timer on health stations at the very least.
Dude, we played Battlefield 4 the other day, and just sitting back and having my health regen itself was so satisfying. I think I just purposely got shot and fell back just so I could see it happen.
See that mechanic at work?
Yeah, it's
the
going
only
up,
people that don't suffer from health attrition are the people who just die in one run.
Exactly.
Or play medic.
They don't survive long enough to notice it. So.
Attrition in general really is like the people saying, "Oh, I love attrition. Attrition's cool." Blah blah blah. You do not live long enough to experience it. Okay, you've never been 1 HP with no ammo. Okay,
that's exactly what it's doing. It's punishing bad players, Deltar. Exactly.
No.
Random recoil. Punishing.
Yeah, but everything about Battlefield V punishes good players.
Oh yeah.
Like literally every single thing that you do in the game. If you're an aggressive person, like in playstyle, the game fucks you. You lose no matter what.
I mean, I think that's why it won't change because they're not catering to us. They're catering to, casual.
The 40-year-old that has the fucking M1 Grand sitting behind him and going, "My granddaddy used to use this."
I don't think the whole like catering to casuals thing's inherently bad. Like COD had a lot of success catering to casuals in some ways. I think it's just your game dies when you just stop thinking about fun. Like at the end of the day, that's just what a game is. It's supposed to be fun. And
yeah, I totally agree.
Attrition is anti-fun.
Tilts you more than it makes you feel like you're having fun. That's.
I don't know. I'm pretty immersed.
Like just like the whole casual versus hardcore argument aside, whole skill gap argument aside, like at the end of the day, like Battlefield should be fun, and it straight up isn't.
And that's the thing. That's why Battlefield 4 I feel like is so Battlefield 3 and 4 are so renowned, because I feel like they just made the game. You know what I mean? This is Battlefield 4. This is the shit in the game. Here it is. Okay. Yes, there's air strafing. Yes, there's all these weird things you can do. Did we know that? Probably not. We just made the game, and it was fun.
All right.
Yeah. And even to that extent, like I think BF4 is less fun than BF3. Like BF3 really felt like that whole, like, we're just gonna make a game and it's gonna be fun. And then BF4 like took a lot of refinements, and that was good. Like they balanced a lot of stuff out, took out a lot of stuff that was blatantly very broken. But at the same time, you don't have M16A3 blasting. You don't have your 6x scope slug shotguns that are really good. It's just a lot of little things like that are just less fun. And then BF1, like it had skilled gunplay. Like objectively, it has the most skilled gunplay in the entire Battlefield franchise, and it's just not fun. And then BF5 makes that next jump to being significantly less fun than even BF1 is. I think that's just kind of calling back to the whole dilution of the franchise that I said earlier. Everything's just been a regression since BF3.
All right, KHT. Name me some. Let's. Okay, what's up, Enders?
Okay.
I was gonna change the subject, but go ahead.
I don't think Battlefield 1's gunplay being objectively. You said it was objectively the hardest, right?
Yeah.
I agree. It is. Theoretically, it is. But I don't think that is what makes it unfun. I think suppression is what made it unfun, honestly, because you have the spread of Battlefield 1, right? And then you have suppression on top of that. And then you have all this other shit. It's just like it gets in the way of actually shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, the thing is, I've calculated it. Suppression Battlefield 1 had actually a very minor impact on your weapons.
For everything but bolt actions, it
was actually super minor. It's only like even in Battlefield 4 too. Battlefield 3 has the strongest suppression, and then there's a huge dip in how hard suppression affects your weapon. In 4 is night and day difference.
4, you basically need multiple people shooting at you to get any suppression effects. Like pretty much to suppress one person by yourself, if you have an AR, you have to intentionally shoot your entire AR mag right around their head to get any meaningful amount of suppression at all. BF1 pretty hard to do without a bolt action or an LMG. And then suppression's a whole different topic. I'm mixed on it. Nocturne likes it. I think it needs work. I don't think it should have been killed, but yeah.
Suppression's retarded.
I went and played BF1 and drank a whole fifth. I had a good time.
Okay, I'm changing the subject.
You were
here.
sweet spotting, weren't you?
Yeah.
Nope,
right?
no sniping.
Okay. We're turning the Battlefield show into a haven of positivity now. All right, here we go. KHT, let's start with you. Give me one positive thing you like about Battlefield 5. Oof.
The semi-autos are really fun.
Semi-autos, okay.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest plus. It's the one BF game to do it right.
Interesting. You have an example of like which gun specifically like behaves in a certain way that you like, or?
They all pretty much play the same. Just mash LMB as fast as you can and point at the target. But
is that a good thing?
All right. So a lot of people will defend like BF1 spread on semis to me, and I'm like, dude, no, it just doesn't make any sense. Like an SMG, you use it up close and you can mag dump it at people, right? a semi-auto, you're supposed to use it at mid to long range. And that's that's its ideal range. If the SMG can mag dump in its ideal range, why shouldn't the semi-auto be able to do so? So BF5 is really the one BF game where you can actually do that well, and that's why the semis were like a big highlight to me.
Energized Knight, what do you think?
Well, there's a couple things that are keeping me playing the game. Bad Jester just brought it up in chat. But there's a lot of console customization. We actually have an FOV slide in this game. Pretty nice. Modern Warfare lacks that. But as for elements within the game itself, as of late, love the lunge mine, love the bazooka, stuff like that. We were talking about the fun elements, stuff like that. I have a lot of fun with. It sucks that the bazooka didn't one-shot planes, and it sucks the lunge mine is bugged. But I enjoyed using them when they were released. I swear that stream I had the most fun I had in a long time when those were released. So if they keep introducing elements like that, they did fix both. Yeah, they fixed both.
They fixed the lunge mine pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So if they keep introducing elements like that, I'll keep playing the game. 2,300 hours down right now. I'll go for the 2,300 hours. Sure.
Would you consider that being part of like the whole sandbox feel that they're trying to get at, or is that delusional? Pretty much, it's just a fun weapon or gadget, or are they going a certain direction?
Individuals' definition of sandbox is kind of relative, so it's like what do you think a sandbox is, type of thing. I just think having interesting mechanics to gadgets or weapons, for that matter, things that just are stand out from other elements of the game. I think those are pretty. Like, they don't have to be OP. They don't have to be OP at all. But just have something that's a bit different and stands out. And I think that leads to a good time. Going up and backblasting somebody is going to say to get killed with a bazooka. They probably think I just one-shot them like directly in the back with the rocket itself. But in reality, I know I backblasted them. I'm having fun. The other person, he doesn't really notice the difference, but I'm having fun.
True.
Stuff like that.
Thank you for that. Chicken? Got a positive thing?
The STG's Chrome skin's pretty cool. I like that one a lot.
Chicken loves the skins.
It's probably about the best thing about the game for me. That and being able to dumpster on people. Like, honestly, SMGs. I used to play sniper a lot. It used to be my main thing. I had such a low KD for it. And I changed to SMGs mid last year. And just being able to dumpster on kids close range that are prone, sitting in corners is probably the funnest part about it for me. I don't use the SARs like other people do. I don't sit back 30, 40 meters. Being able to get in close. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. So you like to get up in people's faces, pretty much what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I just want to kiss men.
Yeah, I get it.
Fair enough.
Can you kiss us real quick? Yeah. Chicken, give us a little kiss.
Hey, it costs 2,000 channel points, bro.
I'm going over right now. Yeah, I got you.
See over.
Yeah. All right, Deltara. Other than not playing the game and playing Call of Duty, what do you think?
Something positive. I love TDM in this game and Squad Conquest, particularly because I think they do a good job with the smaller maps. Lofoten Islands Province, I think, are excellent, especially in TDM.
Okay. I wish I could play those maps more. They really are not in rotation too often, and when they are, I mean, you can't even get through the goddamn rotation of the maps because you're going to land on something terrible, and you're just going to leave and start all over again. But I agree with you. I like those two. Those are based for the 5v5 game mode, right? I think that's what they wanted those for.
Yeah, and also another thing about playing those modes is it sort of nullifies a lot of the frustrations in Conquest and Breakthrough. Like, there's no planes and vehicles to like randomly kill you.
It's always a good break when those come up, especially when the first TDM Pacific playlist came through. I was relieved of not getting totally trashed on by planes and tanks every single day, and it just I change. I'm a changed man every time I play TDM. I was like, what the? Not complaining about these things is great. But yeah, I agree. Cool.
People read off TDM because it's like a COD mode or whatever, but I think it's well done.
It's not even a COD mode. Every shooter's had TDM at some point.
Right, so. But like, what the average Redditor says.
Yeah, I know.
Gabby, what do you think?
I don't know. The thing that I've always enjoyed is sniping, obviously. I mean, that's the reason why I even started playing in the first place. Battlefield 5, I feel like, or Battlefield in general, is very unique like I try and play other FPS games like Call of Duty. I don't know, there's something about Battlefield 5 that just makes it unique. I don't know if it's the size of the maps paired with the different classes that you can choose. The only unfortunate thing is that Sniper kind of encourages people to sit at the back of the map, but I mean, when you start playing aggressive with it, it can be pretty fun.
Yeah, I never noticed you sit back with those at all. Yeah, a pretty aggressive sniper, I think. But did you play BF1?
Yeah, I never actually played Battlefield 3 or 4. I only have ever played 1 and 5.
I'm so sorry.
I know. I'm sad about it.
And did you like sniping? Do you think it was more a better experience in BF1, or do you like it more in BF5?
When I played Battlefield 1, I barely played at all. I didn't start. Yeah, I only really started playing Battlefield more because I was streaming. And at the time when I was playing Battlefield 1, I wasn't a streamer, so I just play it here and there. I just play it for fun. I was awful at it. I mean, so I don't know. I think it's good that they don't have the sweet spot mechanic in this new one. But with the velocity changes, I think it also makes it too easy.
Too easy?
Like
easy.
There's no drop anymore. Like when I was playing earlier today, there's hardly any bullet drop, which is, I don't know. It kind of sucks.
Maybe adding a drop might kill off sniping. I mean, to an extent.
I don't know. If they could find a way to discourage players from, just standing in the back of the map and sniping, I don't know if you guys have any ideas of how that could be done, but
they did that. This is a sweet spot.
I guess.
Well, the sweet spot was
drag.
Drag.
Drag for that. And actually, the reason why there's like barely any drop is because the rifles are zeroed for like 75 meters. So within 75 meters, you're not going to experience any drop whatsoever. So if you play aggressive within like 50 meters or so, you will never experience any bullet drop because the drop basically only starts at 75.
I see. I hear this a lot. What Trouble just brought up in the chat, the whole limiting of classes. Did you guys have like a quick response to that? Like, before I move on to dynamics?
I think that would be a complete disaster. It'd piss a ton of people off, and Reddit would be more pissed than you've ever seen in your life. So
no,
let's put that to rest now. I feel like I heard
people want to play. They want to play. Can't force people to play some way.
What do we reckon about now how in Battlefield 4 and shit you could use different styles of weapons with different classes, so you could have like a shotgun with a medic or something like that. You reckon they should bring that back?
Imagine
I feel like the reason
man
why
with unlimited health and smokes and a shotgun.
Okay, dude, they were fun and it worked in those games. Why won't it work now?
I feel like one of the
It's a
reasons
different game.
reason why that worked is because of the wide variety of weapons, and also the ones that did share classes weren't the most overpowered. Generally speaking, weren't the most overpowered weapons in the game. Like the carbines, except for the M4, maybe the carbines weren't the blatantly overpowered guns. So you would do something else within that class. Let's say you're playing medic, you go just on an assault rifle. You do that instead. So like if you want to accept that if they were to do that, they'd be weaker guns. Then sure, I think that'd be the way to balance it.
Yeah. If they could balance it right, I think it'd be good. Because medic at the moment is strictly close range, right?
But how would they?
Well, it's the jungle and
those carbines, yeah.
Well,
Could you imagine the medic class with any of the SLRs?
Oh,
that's bothered just thinking about it.
That's where the new weapon balance would come into
Yeah,
play.
and also more weapons in the video game would help. Just putting that out there.
I'm not
remove attrition. That's a possibility, though.
I don't know.
Medic is overpowered because it has unlimited health. So if you
I would like for there to be not any more weapons, because running hit rate on 49 weapons is already big, and then you're gonna add to my workload.
Don't want to do that.
Tragic.
Dynamics.
I have to
Dynamics
mention one
4.
thing, or can I mention like few stuff that I like about this game?
Yeah, go for it. Few things. Yeah, fine.
Okay, lack of explosive spam compared to every other BF game. I like squad revives. I like the fact that you can straight up jump through a window without having to destroy it. And I like the fact, I love the fact that this game does not have any suppression effect. No extra visual recoil, no extra blur, no extra spread. Like I feel like the lack of suppression makes the gunplay of this game very clean when it's not random, obviously.
I agree with that. What's up? What's the other thing?
Yeah, I just mentioned everything, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was all.
Boca? One positive
Everything
thing.
about BF5?
One positive thing.
Stacking with the homies. Hey, that's right.
Yo.
No, my favorite thing about BF5 that wasn't a BF1 but was in other ones was it's just doming someone in the head with a revolver. Feels good.
Still, yeah. I mean, even with the new revolver coming out, do you guys like that one better than the older one?
Oh, so much better.
Even with the slow rate of fire and
rules,
everything, huh?
dude.
Depends on the map.
You get so many style points
my
using
class.
it with those clean headshot clips. Dude.
Rate of fire doesn't matter.
It's the most satisfying thing in the game.
Hey, your shot sleeping's good.
All right, what about this well rod coming out, or maybe coming out? The one that
Give it to me. I don't care if it's garbage. Just give it to me.
It's like an Obrez type kind of
Stop
thing.
teasing me. Let me see what it is.
Just gimme. It got teased back in chapter 4. The well rod, that is. I don't know about this new one that's coming out, or if that's sort of talking about the same thing here, but yeah, well rod back in chapter 4.
All right, Anders, your one positive thing about Battlefield 5.
Just one.
Really thinking.
I mean, I'm not even fucking kidding. I've been trying. As soon as you asked that question, I have been thinking this whole time.
They gave you the most time, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I like the squad revive. How about that? There's not much I like about this game.
I hear you.
Twitch
hey,
partner,
you got one.
easy clap.
Yeah.
All right, Nocturne.
One thing, just like it's hard coming up with one thing.
The JU88, easy clap.
I like to think they remove suppression.
Okay, I got
How
it,
about
I got
that?
it.
Suppression's gone.
In the
Okay.
beginning,
Good answer.
Battlefield. Okay, in the beginning, of Battlefield 5. Remember how everyone was forcefully spawned in. Whatever you were doing, customizing weapon, booted out of the menu, forcefully deployed. Right?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And you were frozen in place. As you stared off in the distance, you saw this black dot in the sky. It got bigger and bigger. And then as the countdown said 1, 0, you can now move, but the bombs are already away. And the JU88 pilot laughs as he wipes 32 players as soon as the game started.
And you're the pilot,
I
right?
was one of them.
Yeah.
that was Battlefield 5's crowning achievement. And then they took it away, and the game has just been getting more and more boring ever since, especially with the gun.
Revive locking was decent. That wasn't
Revive
bad.
locking was actually pretty funny, but I wouldn't put it as something fun. It was like it just appealed to my morbid sense of humor.
I'd like to add an honorable mention.
Sure.
Being able to revive your squad mates without being a medic.
Yeah, Ender said that, right?
I also said that.
Dynamics said that.
Dynamics said that too.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's one of the
Pay attention, dude.
one of the few
Maybe the
things
best
that they
thing.
should bring back to the next BF game, in my opinion.
Yeah, they shouldn't get.
I don't think it should be similar to BF5, but there's few things that they should bring back.
I was against it at first, but them bringing it back, or them actually implementing it, it's like I just got used to it. And it's like, yeah, it just made the game less annoying. So I'm like, I'm all for that then.
I mean, I would actually be totally okay with if they changed it so that medics or whichever class has the defibrillators or syringe or whatever could revive that. But then anybody else, squad mate, blueberry, whatever, could revive you with an animation.
Yeah, I was going to say
Imagine the Zerging.
The medics would be instant, and then everybody else has an animation.
How long would you make that animation? Longer or shorter than what it is right now in this game for squad revives?
Exactly the same.
25 minutes. Open heart surgery.
gotta do those chest compressions. Press E at
It's like a whole mini game.
Yeah,
it's quick.
And that's what gets me.
You gotta
about
play some
BF5,
operation.
dude. It's like you have really great features like squad revives that make the game less restrictive and less painful. And then you also have a lot of insanely restrictive shit, like, oh, only recons can 3D spot, pretty much. You know, it's not a very cohesive experience at all.
Gotcha.
Only medics can heal, and they never heal you.
Yeah.
They heal themselves.
On that topic, real quick, one of the things I think with vehicle versus player balances in Battlefield 4 and other titles, you know, had more explosive abilities to take out tanks on other classes. And this year, restricted 2 classes realistically here. So
One
I think
class,
realistically only one.
Like,
Chino has a grenade launcher.
Bro,
yeah. I feel like 2 tanks. Okay. But like
Recon C4.
I have had people insist that the medic smoke launcher is a viable anti-tank tool. I'm just staring at.
Did you like block them and ban them?
With the squad, it is.
No, yeah, exactly. Except they could probably deal with it without you anyway.
Yeah,
no.
But I think extending dynamite to another class would be huge.
Yeah. It's actually what I advocate is you spread the explosives out or whatever between each of the classes, and you just gear them towards anti-tank, and you just give. So you can't just have medic just being a walking, you know, target for tanks. They can do something. I don't care what exactly it is. I don't care if it's like 15 damage and a track disable guaranteed. Just make them do something.
Yeah, and BF1 was a good start for that. Like, K bullets are actually better than anti-tank rifles are in BF5. Support had a lot of stuff to do against vehicles. Like, if you had someone sitting in a tank, you could pull out your mortar and mortar the tank. Like, that was a thing.
Where's the limpet charge, dude?
Yeah, you had a limpet charge.
Support was not the primary AT class, but you could not sleep on it. Drop an HE shell on a heavy tank, it was 17 damage, and you came with 5 mortar shells.
Yeah.
Okay, if you drop 17 times, almost a dead tank.
And then this also plays back to people who bring up the opinion that you know, tanks are inherently weaker in this game compared to other Battlefield games. Well, that may be true if you can do a 1-to-1 comparison. The infantry is also weaker against tanks in this game with less options. So I think that's, you know, if you're going to bring up that discussion, this is also that to talk about.
We should keep going on this. We should keep going on this discussion about revive mechanics, because I'm very curious as what the hell they're going to do for the next game.
I mean, it's very simple. Battlefield 4 revive.
Yeah, I reckon they'll bring it back to instant.
I'd also throw
You're talking
in
about with
a
the charge
little
up,
caveat
right?
where
With the charge up,
yeah. I think it'd be okay for the revives to also be instant if you could not revive while you were in combat. So if like you were suppressed or you taken damage, you cannot revive someone. That way you have to finish.
No.
That seems buggy as shit.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Guys hitting the wall in front of you with bullets, but you're in cover. You still can't revive. Something like that would happen for sure.
Company heroes, you have like smoke breaking suppression. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Again, they can't get anything with the smoke rate in this game. Like, you still get spotted by flares through smoke. I don't know how they're going to do that properly.
Sometimes
in theory, it's a good idea.
See-through smokes.
Yeah,
some
you
maps.
know how to fix that? Remove fucking flares.
No, auto spotting. Auto spotting goes through smoke too.
Remove everything that does with spotting then.
Yeah, I feel like this game, like, despite not having Q to spot, I feel like it has as much as 3D spotting as every other BF game. If not worse.
It does, 100%.
You're always spotted in this game. You're always spotted.
Because the flares in this game, unlike the other games, the flares can 3D spot. In Battlefield 3, 4, and 1, it only 2D spotted, and they in 3 and 4 they pull. And in 3, 4, and 1, you could avoid it by crouch walking or ADS walking. If you were below the speed threshold, it couldn't see you. But in Battlefield 5, it doesn't matter what you do, it will always see you. And in this game, it will throw the 3D marker above your head.
We also have the 2 extra categories of the MG suppression and the recon perk, right?
Perks.
Why
People
did
can't hit you, get you spotted.
Why is it a thing?
Tanks have flares too.
I don't know.
See, I don't mind that, honestly. Like, especially the recon perk. Like, all right, if the recon can shoot you, it can very clearly see you. Like, you know,
it's just a bone.
But they can see you, but then it makes it so
people.
everybody can see you. It's because then you can just get out the trench and fucking just start firing at everybody, and you got all these spots going on.
Yeah, what if it was personal spot?
It should just be. Yeah, it just
personal
happen.
spotting just defeats the entire purpose of spotting, in my opinion. Like, the purpose of spotting in Battlefield is to be able to like communicate with your blueberries that you wouldn't be able to communicate with. Like, what are you gonna do? Pull out your keyboard and start like typing in chat like, oh, there's a guy at the rock here 40 meters from D. Like, no, that's ridiculous. Like, 3D spotting is really what
take
made
a page from
team
Dima's book in Battlefield 4. when you were breaking out of the prison. You don't want to know what Dima did with the blueberries. He told you and your was it not Wrecker. You were Wrecker. Who was the other dude?
Irish.
Irish, yeah, Irish. He told you and Irish, stay back, let them eat the bullet. And he just lets all the other Chinese prisoners be meat shields. That's what a blueberry is for. So even if you had spotting, you kind of could just not tell your blueberries the danger's there, and then you catch the guy when he's reloaded.
Delete recon from the game. Easy clap.
Easy.
Just
Okay.
delete everything.
All right, next topic was Tides of War. Hey.
Woo!
So glad I got that free tier skips.
Terrible.
The thing they're trying to use to get you to play.
Yeah, the weekly live service brought to you by
Love tier skips, dude.
Tier
It
skips.
sort of just represents how much
Drip
effort
feeding
they're putting in
content.
with the tier skips. Like, it's just very obvious.
It's so pathetic.
Yeah, I don't like it. Especially me being, because I hit 40 rank in like the first week. All these tier skips mean nothing, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going to give you 100 points." So does that
100
mean every single
points.
week from here on in, it's going to be tier skips, and I just get 100 points so I can finally buy something? Or he's going to give me like 3 tier skips. I'm going to have 300 points just fucking sitting there doing nothing, and you're going to entice me to spend money on something else to get the extra points.
No, it's the latter.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
just look at Call of Duty. Do the same thing.
Okay, what would you guys do to make the weekly rewards better? Anything?
Take him out of the game.
Yeah, take them out. Like,
Get rid of him, dude.
Get him out of here.
Oh.
Yeah, if the only reason you're playing the game is because there's some skin waiting for you, then obviously the game isn't fun enough by itself. And that's what I think they should focus on. Instead of giving you more skins and whatnot, they should just make the game fun to play so that you just want to play it. Not for a reward, but because it's fun.
Yeah, it looks like they're almost like forcing themselves to give daily rewards out or daily achievements because it's part of this definition of live service.
Yeah, like,
Oh, it's like a
Why?
pattern of like a upper level suit, like saying, "Oh, you have to do this thing," and
Why are they forcing
so the
themselves
developer's
behind
like,
that?
"Well, what? We don't have any content to give out every week," so then they come up with tier skips.
It's just like
Obvious.
Battlefield 3, 4. Like, I think most of us have unlocked everything that we want to unlock in those games, right? We still go back to them. We don't chase unlocks. The games are fun. But no, for
I think
Battlefield
if you
5,
want to make Tides of War viable, number one, you have to have enough content, and you have to make it good content. I mean, they gave us a fucking white T-shirt for one of the weeks of Tides of War. a actual white T-shirt. I
no way.
And then we had a haircut as well. I remember the haircut one.
Blonde hair.
yeah, the haircut. So
That you put a
here's
helmet
the
over.
thing: you have to go back to Battlefield 3 assignments. I think you have to number one reinstate dog tags from Battlefield 3. Okay, Battlefield 3 dog tags were the best dog tags. Okay, and they were actually like cool, and the assignments were kind of hard. So and people, I mean, it doesn't really affect the gameplay, but it actually does add something that looks cool that people can see that people want. And there was weapon assignments that were difficult, and the skins that they offered for the weapons in Battlefield 3 actually looked cool. And the assignments, once again, were somewhat difficult. They weren't like what's some daily assignments in Battlefield 5? Survive for 90 seconds.
Play one round of Conquest.
Deal 200 damage. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, according to the Battlefield 1 CTE, the average player lifetime was between 30 to 45 seconds. So
That's because they're not trying to live for that long.
Imagine.
And they're shit.
Yeah. Okay, well then, if it's not cosmetics that we're getting every week, I mean, should there be a reward every week? I maybe Nocturne already covered that. Just
I think it depends on what else they're doing. You know, like
they're
if they're
trying
gonna
to
do
set a theme or something, like an event. Like that's what these things all are. I guess that brings people back to play. If
I
you
just
have an
can't
event.
wait for my next shipment of company coin. I don't know about you guys.
I'm clamoring right now for it, man. I need it.
I need to spend 15K on tank customization, dude. I'm broke now.
Oh my god.
Well, they don't have enough people churning out content. Like, what are they gonna give us every week? Like,
The armory is. Have you ever noticed how the skins in the armory are on all the same guns that no one uses? Like,
I mean, the defaults,
Yeah.
because they're the
Defaults.
default guns.
Not no
They're on
one,
the
but yeah, the default
because
guns.
Exactly, because everyone has the default guns. So it's guaranteed that someone will be able to actually buy and see it. That's why they do it. If they put it on something like what's the level 20 unlock for medic?
Tommy
gun, was it?
Yeah. If they put it on the Thompson, you want to know who can use it? Only the level 20.
Okay.
That's a good point.
All right.
But
All these.
Actually, was it Kohlers or something? He is the self-entitled Vault Guardian. He calls the Vault all the unreleased Infinite that Battlefield 5 has right now.
Yeah.
According to him, there is a whole plethora of stuff that is seemingly ready to go. They just don't release it, and it's been sitting in there for months.
Whoa. Can you go back again? Wait, what vault? What?
He calls it the Vault because, from what he understands because he also dives into the game files. He says that these are skins and camp that look to be ready to go. They haven't been touched in months, but they're just locked up, like in a vault.
And probably being, or like waiting for other is there any evidence of other chapters
like waiting
coming
a
up?
drip feed or something?
Yeah, waiting a drip feed. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they're waiting to
drip feed. My favorite.
So it's not even a problem of content if what he says is true. It's just a problem to schedule it to drag out as long as possible.
Why do all the new guns that have come out not have all the base skins that were included with all the base weapons?
Yeah, I want chrome on everything.
Same.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe it
everybody
takes
wants that.
Surely they have enough manpower to do that.
Surely.
Right?
Or like
Surely they
skins running into the game,
Right?
like big skin, like Boyne skin, doesn't it block your sights? Like some guns, something like that.
Yeah.
All that effort into all the Boyne cosmetics is really
hey man,
like
the realism people don't mind if it blocks their sights. It's
realism.
Yeah, but those Boyne skins aren't even realistic. What was the other one the other week? They had like mermaids or some shit on them.
What?
Those
dragon heads.
Yeah, it's so the dragon ones. It's so stupid, man.
You're just jealous.
All right, bro.
Battlefield 1 skins were better than anything we have in Battlefield 5, and they were fucking free, so I don't want to hear it from anyone at DICE.
Bring back loot boxes? Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I'm kidding. I don't mind either way, but you know,
The
don't
chat,
take me down as one or the other.
The chat is angry. They want to know what the hell is going on with server stars. They want to bring them back. I personally think, this is my take on the server star situation, I think it's a feature that was probably too toxic for EA and DICE during gameplay. Don't you remember in BF1 where you would always be toxic in the chat because of some dude that's 140 or 100 server star
automatical Hell Regal.
I mean, I like knowing that
even post on Reddit. People would
I like that.
I like that. Okay.
Those people are gonna be toxic anyway.
Toxic.
Yeah,
You're
they're gonna be
toxic,
anyway,
man.
no matter what.
There's the other side of that when people would have like 100 server star broken wine bottle. Like it was also like a positive.
Did this in Battlefield 3? They made fun of you for having like 100 server star USAS or M16A. So I mean, I don't get
the shit buckets.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sweat them for one gun like that, and prepare to take the heat or the flak for it, you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't care about
bring server stars back.
Bring them back.
I want to expose these 2A users, bro. I want to fucking bring them.
Do you think they should be unlimited
Battlefield's
server stars?
most wanted.
Unlimited?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what about unlimited ranks?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Cool.
Yeah.
Why
Dude,
500?
unlimited server stars
hate mail. I don't
is
care.
gonna make people so tilted. I kid you not. Like, just imagine.
On the topic of rank, when Tabaranka reaches level 500, I think DICE should probably just give him like at least $10 million.
He's not a mixer. They don't care about him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
EA,
like
not DICE, EA.
Oh, okay.
Mad
What,
lad.
is there a big mixer Battlefield community?
Battlefield's on mixer. Yeah.
It's just a
The
matter.
Battlefield,
Okay.
yeah, the Battlefield channel, like most of their streamers and stuff that they bring on the Battlefield channel,
I
they're on
didn't
mixer
know
now. Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know that at all.
So what happened
Yeah, they
to
should
Twitch?
better
Just shut
Really?
down?
Shows
All
how
right,
much
packing up,
exposure
boys.
it
What's going
has.
on over there? Please let it- Starting again.
Why
Okay,
do you think
Mixer's
that was the
done
Battlefield
shit.
team on Twitch? They're on Mixer now.
True.
So-
I mean,
Yeah.
to be quite honest with you, this stream has more viewers right now than the entirety of the Mixer Battlefield viewer section has ever. Times 4. Actually,
Thank you, chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. You know what? I haven't even had a break. We have not had a break at all. If you guys don't know what the hell you guys are watching, this is a weekly Battlefield show. I usually have a one-on-one with a streamer or content creator, and we talk about Battlefield every week. And I decided to just go nuts and bring 9 of my favorite people from all across Twitch and just the Battlefield scene in general. And I was like, fuck it, let's do an Inquisition of Battlefield and let's talk about it. Let's do a big old podcast, as no one really ever attempted to try this, not even DICE Sweden themselves. They usually have like 4 or 5 people talking about the game. So I brought people from all from everyone, console, from sweat lords and rimmers like Boca, or we got the amazing people from sim.gg who do all the statistical work. You guys should definitely go check out that new website. Looks amazing. We got people from all around the world. We got people like Chicken Beef or Lamb from Australia. I almost forgot the country for some reason. Terrible.
All right.
Just like Dice forgot about his region.
But anyway, thank you guys
True.
for the new followers. Welcome. I'll be having these every Saturday here on this channel, and don't forget to follow these amazing people through Twitter and Twitch. You can find them all in the links here. Okay, so thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. It's probably one of our biggest shows we've ever had here on the channel, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to a really important topic, and I want all of you guys' take. Is everyone still good to go? Anyone wanna?
I've got about half an hour left, and I've got to start my stream up. But yeah, I'm good for now.
Okay,
I'm alive.
I gotta go and
stick
play
around
the
for another
trash
5
game.
minutes or so. Just starting to get a bit tired.
sounds good. Okay, we'll probably bring in some other people here in maybe a little bit later. So the next topic, the rental server program. This has been in almost, I think, every Battlefield game. And now we're at a state of what the hell is going on with this bare bones RSP, or what they're calling now community games. I want to get your guys' opinions on why is it important? Do we even need it in future Battlefield games? Do we need it in this game? Is it good the way it is? Those kinds of things. Let's just start with Nocturne. Do you think this kind of thing is good for a Battlefield game, or what?
Well, I've personally been on the receiving end of admin abuse, so my feelings are kind of colored. I personally actually don't mind if we have RSP, and I don't care if we don't. But if we're going to have RSP, it should have a full feature set. It shouldn't just be this miserable half-assed thing that it is like in Battlefield 5. And if the admins are going to have banning powers, okay, it should have some sort of oversight. Like, another player should not be able to effectively invalidate my brother and my $60 purchase through some sort of unofficial third-party ban list that they stream with all their other admin friends or whatever. So they can have whatever features they want. Like, I'll be happy for them if they're happy about it. But most of all, I just want to know that they will have some oversight when it comes to banning players, whether it be like DICE or some actual worthwhile other form of accountability. I don't know. That's all I want out of it.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying. So when an admin bans somebody from their server, you're saying someone else needs to take a look at it? Is that what you're saying?
Ideally, I would like, okay, so if they're so busy banning cheaters or whatnot, right? If they think and they put it on their server's own ban list and it's streamed on GCC or ACI or whatever, how come it's not sent over to Fairfight or EA's own anti-cheat directly for them to review? Because what happened was we went through even balance, which at the time was basically the official anti-cheat, and we thought it was a ban with them, and they say, oh no, we don't ban for this offense. We're not confident enough on this ban or this offense to ban for it. You have to talk to PB bans. And so we talked to PB bans, and the message we got was basically, you are a cheater, you are a liar, good day. And it was like, I guess we're out $60. And now we need to go buy another key, even though this key technically works on DICE official servers that do not have the or ACI enabled. So, I kind of like, I get that they want to police their servers and whatnot, but I cannot accept that an unofficial ban invalidated my purchase. Like, think about it. Like, my favorite metaphor for this is, imagine you go into a restaurant, right? And rather than the restaurant security kicking you out, it's the other patrons that kick you out. And you didn't even do anything wrong, in your opinion, right?
We lost
okay, names got mixed up because we lost. Okay, there we go.
Gabby, you good?
Rip Gabby.
KHT was Gabby for a second.
I'm gonna assume that her Discord crashed because she did have some issues early on.
Gabby, I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you in a little bit. What do you think about building a community, and especially when you come and play a Battlefield game? Would you rather have like your own server and your own control, or do you kind of like it the way it is?
I mean, I definitely think that there should be RSP servers. Even if Battlefield ever wants to have a comp scene, then they need it. It might be, I don't know if I would consider it too late for Battlefield 5, because I mean, they should still put it in even if the game is kind of dying. But for the next games, the next Battlefield game they make, I think it definitely needs RSP, and especially with the cheating issues as well. Being able to kind of control who is in your server if you think they're a cheater would be nice. But also, like Nocturne was saying earlier about someone having a little bit of oversight, I think that would also be a good idea, just so that people aren't punished for no reason.
I think you're right. Like some sort of structure behind the bans, or anybody in your ban list, which should be, for some reason in the past they've limited that ban list for console's sake. That was back in BF. I don't know. Was that true? Do you guys remember that?
That was BF1. In BF1, RSP, you could only have 100 people in your ban list.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming it's because it was their own first-party solution, whereas in GCC or whatever, Infinite, I suppose. I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah,
but
I hope
because it's their own foray, they probably had their own limitations. Not sure what exactly. Maybe it was memory or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but it should be unlimited. But yeah, you're right. It should have some sort of that list should be connected to some sort of database that EA or whoever can go take a look. Maybe the admins can also tag those bans as, this person is not a cheater but abusive or trolling or whatever. Like have an asterisk next to it or something. I don't know. And maybe have behind the scenes kind of system would be nice. I like that idea for sure. And they probably had that before. You said in the earlier Battlefields they had that, right? Nocturne?
No, I'm not sure if any earlier Battlefields has this at all.
Gotcha.
I was just coming up with it as a compromise where the RSP people can have all the community building features they want, but they're not allowed to make permanent, actually worthwhile bans without the accountability and oversight from EA DICE.
And in BF1, there used to be Fairfight would automatically ban, or like at least not ban, but kick for a specific amount of time. And that's their own database. And admin didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was automatic.
And admin didn't do that. Fairfight, once it picked up on suspicious activity, it started doing its own thing.
All right. And cheaters are not... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. My kind of take on it is like, All right, RSP is not a substitute for actual like functioning anti-cheat. The game should have actual anti-cheat, regardless of whether or not it has RSP.
Yeah.
And I think that alleviates some of the whole like badmin banning thing if the game itself actually has anti-cheat built in. But on top of that, like I think RSP sometimes kind of gets to the point where it's mutating the game into something that's not really the whole like congruent core Battlefield experience. Like I'm perfectly cool with people running their own custom server rotation. Like if you want to run like infantry only like conquest servers, like I would like to play that. That'd be fun. But I think once it comes to a point where like you've banned enough stuff where it's not really the same Battlefield experience anymore, I don't think players should be able to matchmake into that, and I think that should be stuck in a whole separate section of the server browser, kind of like what BF1 did with hardcore, because that was great. Everyone that wanted to play hardcore, their servers just got stuck in some corner of the server browser, and everything that was in the server browser was actually kind of fun to play. And I'm sure anyone that tries to like play BF3 or BF4 at this point can kind of resonate with this. If you try to pop open Battlelog, like you might be banned from half the servers, and the other half are all hardcore. Like it's not that great.
Piggybacking off of that, Siege of Shanghai, admins only get choppered, no stingers allowed.
Like it definitely has its pluses. Like it's great for comp, but if you're using a RSP server for comp, it doesn't need to be in the server browser. Like ideally, you probably wouldn't even want it to be in the server browser because you only want people that you want in the game to play it.
Yeah, but what we have now is just kind of like a placeholder. Great, yeah. It's like a placeholder. Like we just did it because you wanted it.
RSP isn't in the game yet.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's just a failure.
Like it's I guess it's definitely something that Battlefield needs. BF5s is not adequate, but at the same time there needs to be like some pretty serious limits on what RSP was like compared to BF3 and BF4, because a lot of times that really did get out of hand, and I probably actually have to go, so I'll kind of wrap it up with that.
All right, thanks KSG for hanging out, man.
Love you.
I'll see you guys around.
Good night, dude.
All right, good night, KSG. All right. Well, that was sick. I have a couple more topics here. Boca in the middle. Nice.
Yeah, the names are mixed up again.
Yeah, I'll just move things around.
Okay, dude, you don't need any more promotion.
Yeah, let other people get partnered, Boca.
Put fucking Crynomics in the middle. I want to look at his painting picture.
Oh my god. You're just gonna call me a vampire, man. You're gonna hurt my feelings.
Bro, you look... I'm gonna ask chat.
Why do you think I look like that?
Dude, you look like a vampire, bro.
Really?
You look like something out of Twilight.
You guys have something to say about this.
You look like something out of fucking Twilight.
Yes?
Yes.
Wow. Good looking man, that's what I think.
Wow, man, I'm disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Not true. There you go.
Okay, there are some things that we may disagree on, and it's the team balancer. All right.
Yeah, seen the sun.
The whole team balancer thing is what everyone's crying about and whining about in freaking Reddit and Twitter and everything like that. What is the solution here? Is
implement team balancer. That's
I thought BF1 system was fine.
Exactly. The answer is very simple. You implement the goddamn team balancer.
Yeah, you just put it in the game.
But how?
BF1 did auto balance, but you also could switch teams.
Yeah, we need a team switch button.
We do need a team switch button, but it should only be revealed if you're on the winning team. Because in Battlefield 1, I saw plenty of people switch to the winning team.
Oh yeah,
I was one of them. I was
one of them. I did that a lot. Each time my team pissed me off, I would just switch.
Roaches.
So you should only be allowed to switch to the losing team.
Okay.
I mean,
but no, I think the team balancer should work with like your top 1 squad from the winning team should go over to the losing team, and then the top 2 squad from the losing team should go over to the winning team, and it should go back and forward like that, and then that way it should even it out a little bit. So Yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, BF1
I
had,
feel like
I
that would be
mean,
better.
used the skill statistic, which we can debate whether that was useful or not. But
it
like,
was farm.
they used some sort of statistic to gauge the levels of each squad, and then they sorted it like that. Like they had a plan. Like there's no plan here.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
40 versus 10.
Going off what Chicken said, my just rough idea, just a very rough thing, would take the top 4 squads instead of the top 3, but essentially bounce up the top 4. And you can let dice just decide what those elements are going to be, what they decide, whether it's KD or just overall points earned by the top 4 squads. And then, you put 1 and 4 together on one side and 2 and 3 on the other side, that sort of thing. But only have it kick in when a certain ticket threshold is exceeded. So that number can be debated as well. I'm thinking 350 to 400 in that range. If you win by that many tickets, then there should be some sort of team balancer happen there. Otherwise, I think it's fine.
They could also tag like whether squads are public, like randomly formed, or they were formed like in the menu, like with friends. And prioritize public first, so they don't like break up friend groups.
Friends. How do you guys feel about entire platoons just going into pub stomp?
If you're stacking your server and you're winning by 400 plus tickets, you need to be team balanced.
That really ruins a lot of good maps for me.
Bro, it should be maximum. Like, I don't even think 2 squads should be like in a thing. It should just
1 squad, honestly, enough. But
one squad in a Discord, that's fine. When
I mean, you can't really limit the amount of people because not all stacks are equal. Like, there can be a 20-man stack and they can all be trash, and then you can have a 4-man squad, not even a stack, and they can make the whole they can be the difference between winning and losing. So it's really hard.
How would you tell the game what a stack is? Because people, like, if you enforce it like that, people would just start taking their tags off.
Why are we even talking about this?
like I said, just take the top 4 based off maybe how many points they got that round as a squad, and then just auto balance the top 4 squads, keep them together as squads, don't break up friends within squads. But again, if you're stacking 16 deep, you're stacking 16 deep. That's what you're doing. You need to be split up. I don't care if you're friends or not. I really don't.
Yeah, DICE won't be able to enforce that, but it should just be like a moral code thing. If you have
moral, having honor in video games.
All right, dude. All right, dude. If you have more than fucking 8 people playing with you at one time, grow the fuck up and split them up. You know what I mean?
Moke is probably offended.
No, I'm not. I embrace it. I have a stack emote, bro. Come on. Any stackers? Hey.
But hey, if you got your friends with you and you lose the game, hey, you're not going to get out of bounds.
Hey, you
so
fucking trash then, dude.
I didn't say that, you did.
Oh man, if we wanted to add anybody else to the stream here, AHT would have to leave the actual I don't know how to get rid of him, so we just kick someone
Maybe
else.
you can just try to click his name and kick him out.
Just like you did with the.
You go to members list.
Yeah, just right click on him. Should kick him right there.
Get him out. He's never needed.
Wait, isn't he the host?
Yeah, isn't he the host of it?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it's you.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it says that Julian is the group owner, so he has that crown.
How do I change that? I can't even get the access to the member list. Weird.
You should be able to. I do see it. Bottom right.
Oh, it's because you got a full screen now, don't you? And you don't have the arrow to bring it back up.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Same thing earlier.
I have to X in and go back in. Let's see.
Yeah, just gonna do it real quick.
Okay, there you go.
Discord has better anti-stack mechanics than BF5.
Things are gonna look a little differently here. You'll probably see something. Let me see.
Yeah, he's leaking DMs.
Yeah, I know. This is the.
Oh no, they see everything.
Yeah, they see everything.
They know.
Where's KHT? Okay, here. So I just remove friend. That would be.
Remove friend.
That's all I see is remove friend. Oh, remove from group. Remove from group.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Okay, cool.
Exposed, dude. Fucking exposed. I'm gonna get fucking rage hacked for that later. Now you watch.
All right, let's see if they will come on in. Oh, there they are. Yo, you guys hear us?
Word.
Vincey boy.
Vince and Cassie is graphic. Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we'll have to get you new names here.
Oh my god.
Let's see here.
Vance and Casey.
I am now.
Hello, Gabby.
What?
Oh,
Hello?
Gabby's
Gabby,
everyone.
now.
I'll
There's
fix
two
it.
Gabbies up there.
Oh.
I'm a partner, chat. Yeah.
We'll
Do you
bring
hear the
something
thing?
Oh, it's kind of delayed for me.
Oh, can we add Cassie to the call so she can like get the audio and be because we don't share the same audio source?
Gabby.
We can only fit 10 at one time. Vince and Gabby.
Oof.
We gotta take Diltar out. He
Gotta use the
hasn't
same
been
mic.
talking for a while.
Look, do you want me to bounce now? Because I got my stream in like 20 minutes anyway, so I got to set up for that. And then
Go
that way
freshen up.
you can have Cassie in.
Put on some makeup.
I've got to put on some makeup, dude.
Shit.
I'm up too early for this shit.
All right,
So, yeah.
chicken. Well, if you
Yeah, I'll
need, I'll
bounce.
get
I
ready.
just. Yeah. All right. Thanks for having the show, dude. It was
Thanks for
kind
being
of
on,
fun.
man. Kind of fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Go to bed, everybody. I'll see you all later.
See ya, dude.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right. I'll fix everything up here in a second.
Hey.
All the names
Oh,
are.
God, I look
Hey,
like now.
I'm the
look who's
partner
in the
again, dude.
middle. Oh my god. Okay. I went
Oh, it's
through
'cause we're being
pretty much everything I can think of, but maybe we could bring up some stuff here for Vince and Cassie here. How was work, by the way? You guys good? How things?
We're both like, fuck.
They do look exhausted. Not gonna lie.
Such is life. Yeah,
Is there
we're
any way we
both.
can move Vince and Cassie to the middle since they're sharing a screen?
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay.
Can you-
Yeah, Cassie literally just got home, and like before I even said hello, anything, I'm like, hurry up, get your headphones on.
Okay, so how's 6.2 been treating you guys? How
It,
you-
it
how you
feels
liking
fucking
it?
weird, dude. For me, this is just me. It feels weird. It just feels weird. Like, this feels inappropriate. This feels weird. But we'll see.
Inappropriate.
I just
Okay,
need to play some more. I think, dude. I don't play enough lately.
So when you're playing with the what's your favorite gun again? What do you like?
It was the Moss, but I've been playing more like AGM and like STG and ZK and kind of tapping into other things too. But mainly, I'd say AGM is probably the main right now. And there's just leaves like fuck this, dude. I'm out.
You don't have to talk that close to your mic, by the way. It sounds
All right.
good. But
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah, the Moss is like back. I'd say it's pretty effective, but it's got a lot of kick to it, and I don't know if that's like new or if that's just because I got used to the AGM. I can't really decipher what is different yet.
yeah, all the recoil has changed back to 5.0 standards, or the way it used to be. So maybe that's why maybe the second shot recoil is a little too much to get that second headshot, because you'll need that for that gun specifically.
Yeah.
Don't use the AGM-42 with a 3x. Use it with a NIDAR sight. Trust me.
I have
I'm not
boomer
even kidding.
eyes. I can't.
I'm blind.
I can't see well enough to do that.
Okay.
You young whippersnappers.
I'm with you there.
Cassie,
Can't
how
see
you
anything.
liking it?
How you liking 6.2? How you liking 6.2?
Oh,
She can't hear.
the delay is
Oh.
really bad for me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So
So
how's
how-
6.2?
Oh, 6.2. I'm readjusting, I think so. It feels really fast, but I'm really getting into the whole semi-autos again. Like, it's really fun. I've been playing with like a Vera 43.
Nice.
Okay. Damn, we went through so many topics today. Maybe we could just like come back and maybe get your guys' opinions on all this stuff here real quick. When it comes to like the attrition system, we can just start with that again. What do you guys think about like health attrition and ammo attrition? Do you still want that in this game the way it is?
I feel like as far as like attrition goes, effectiveness, yes or no kind of thing. I feel like because I play with Cassie, so I've always had access to medical
Pocket medic.
I've had a pocket medic and stuff like that, and
Free healthcare.
Yeah, I've had free healthcare pretty much. I've had a good run, you know what I mean? Like I had a pretty good run with as far as that goes. Ammo, I feel like let me turn it down. I guess I'll go further back. I feel like I'm used to condensers, so these are new mics, so I'm just getting used to it. I feel like there's like pros and cons, but I feel like not running out of ammo in a game about shooting people is like good. I like that.
I mean, it ups the fun factor, right?
Yeah, you can just keep killing and doing the thing that the game was designed for. Was you go around, you shoot people, they die. That's the game pretty much. You know, that's like the core of it. Is shooting people, they die. So the more I can do that without having to rely on some dork
that won't resupply you.
I'm good with that. I like that portion, but I do. Oh, there was something super fun about like, oh, I have like 3 bullets left. Let me kill this dude and take his like, you know, little sack. That sounds weird, but yeah, take his little, you know, bullet bag and keep going. And I got one more kill. There was something cool when those moments happened, but for the most part, it was just annoying.
Okay, and also, I asked everybody around, what was one positive thing you liked about Battlefield 5?
Oh, just the game, Battlefield 5.
Just the game, yeah. What do you give me one positive thing you like about it?
I like the squad play a lot.
Squad play, okay. Yeah. I got back into gaming when like 5 was about to come out, so it represents like a lot for me and Cassie too. It basically, it sounds like super weird, and it's like, come on, dude, it's just a game, but like it changed our lives.
Yeah.
Because we started getting in streaming Battlefield 4, and it was like, oh, this is fun. I can play video games and not feel so guilty about like just sitting there and playing video games. I can do something with it and work towards a goal and buy a bunch of cool gear and shit like that, and you know, just nerd out on stuff like that. So that it kind of sparked it. It sparked the whole like, let's stream and really do this, because I was really into Battlefield when I was a boy, and now that I'm a man, no, it's just, it kind of reignited the spark as far as gaming goes. So it means a whole lot to me, even though like it feels like shit sometimes. And can we say shit on here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
All right. Even
I'm
though
on the podcast, okay?
yeah, sometimes it feels bad, and you want to just you know, Alt F4 and stuff like that. It represents so much as far as the change in both of our lives from going to, you know, we're gonna go out and hang, which we should go out and have a date sometime, of course we should, but you know, the normal like life to go and then going into like streaming and making that like our lives. Battlefield 5 was the catalyst, I'd say. It sparked the whole thing. So Battlefield 5 means a whole lot to me.
Yeah, and like the community that we've met through this game too it's wild. It's wild to me that so many of our friends now are from Battlefield 5, and I don't know,
exactly.
just as easy it is to complain about it sometimes, like I wouldn't trade it, you know.
I mean,
like, no, the experience, the overall experience.
Yeah, like,
I'm not talking. No, don't twist my words.
I know. I'm just fucking around. See, like that's the joke, though. You know what I mean? Like we can all talk shit, but we all play it pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Fucking
Mocha, what are you doing?
Mocha's done.
Oh my god. Okay. Jesus. Okay, I want to talk about the new FPS shooters coming out, like this Valorant shit coming out. What do you guys think about all this?
I'm from Overwatch, so right down my alley. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, I'll probably play it. If it's PC only, I'll hop on PC. I'll play it for sure.
What
I
game?
do think I'm interested.
Valorant?
Valorant?
Yeah, Project A. It's Riot's FPS game.
Never heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyone tried
Like
Diabolical?
Googling that shit right now.
Yeah, Diabolical's out, new arena shooter. I call it the Pac-Man shooter. But that seems pretty popular now. A lot of people are liking that arena stuff.
I love Overwatch. It's just the meta that became that game for a year and a half just pushed me away from it. So that's why I'm playing Battlefield right now. But no, another game comes out in the future that's similar in style to CS:GO or Overwatch, I'd be down to give it a whirl, for sure.
What do you think, Dynamics? You like any of that kind of stuff?
No, I'm not into it, to be honest. I've always been just playing Battlefield. I grew up playing Battlefield. I have not been even, other than Modern Warfare, I have not bought any COD game. I've never played COD. I've never played anything else other than BF when it comes to FPS games, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not CS:GO. I tried some Siege, some Overwatch. Not my thing. It's just Battlefield for me. If Battlefield dies, I don't think I'm gonna be playing FPS games.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were gonna say someone else, dude.
I have an Apple.
Yep.
I'm proud of you.
What about you, Gabby? Do you play any? You've been playing a lot of Dark Souls and Sekiro. What else are you playing right now?
Honestly, I've been mainly just like straying away from Battlefield a little bit, just because of like basically everything we've talked about.
Yeah. True.
I mean, in like referring to Valorant, I don't know. I never heard about it. I've never played Overwatch. I've never played CS:GO. I've played Siege. I actually enjoyed Siege a lot. But I mean, I'd be open to trying it. Yeah, I'm open to trying like new games all the time. And even though like I've never been a big fan of Call of Duty, I still tried the new Modern Warfare. I didn't like it. I don't play it, but I still tried it. So I mean, I'm always willing to give something a shot.
You ever try a battle royale game?
Oh God. Yeah, I played a lot of Fortnite. I don't want to admit it. I played a lot of Fortnite. Yeah, before I started streaming, and then like Fortnite kind of died for me, and then I actually did really enjoy Firestorm a lot when it first came out, and I was playing with friends, and we would just like we'd play Firestorm for hours, and we'd have like a good time. It was fun. But then it just started dying, and with the TTK changes and the glitches that came with Firestorm, especially like with the inventory glitches, there's points where you literally couldn't pick anything up, and it was I'm very sad about it, but I don't know, I love playing all types of games.
Yeah, a lot of people share your sentiments, too. Like, all these changes just make things extremely annoying and confusing, and it's like, what'd they do to my gun? And why do I keep getting killed by Type 2As? Like, what is going on? That kind of situation. I can see why this game really doesn't show any signs of resurgence, even though they dropped a new map, a jungle map. Wow. And then that's pretty much all we got for this new chapter so far, and everything else is like in the dark. Probably not a good idea.
The problem is with the map thing too is that they only implement the new maps into basically Conquest and Breakthrough, and I feel like that's also partially why like the other game modes are dying. When I first started playing, Grand Ops always had a bunch of servers. They were always full. Now, whenever I open the servers, because I open them just to check because I think it's funny, there'll be 2 servers with 1 person in it. There'll be another that's half full, and then another one that's fairly full, but the ping is in the red. So
yeah,
it's just sad, and I think it definitely has to do with the repetitive gameplay, just having to play the same maps over and over, and there's basically no new content to play within those game modes. So
yeah, they're not making any Grand Ops maps.
Yeah, not even just Grand Ops, but the other ones as well.
Yeah.
So,
Chalk it up to another failed promise or broken promise, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, is the population on console pretty good, or do you think
it's good enough?
It's decent.
You guys always you always find like a decent amount of servers or in your area?
Yeah, I mean, the issue is like, where are they in the rotation? You know what I mean? You know, if they're about to head into Hamada, Paintstorm, Mouse, and Dan, that's a hard avoid for me. So it's a matter of finding servers that are about to, or on the other side of that.
This conquest rotation is abysmal, and
like I legitimately need monetary compensation to even consider staying in like the bad part of the rotations of these fucking servers.
I need therapy if I play.
I need some money. I need acupuncture afterward. It's just
4 hours of boring maps. It was huge for no reason.
But big maps are good, Julian.
No.
It's the classic Battlefield experience, bro. What's wrong with you?
Sandbox, man. Come on, dude.
Literally a sandbox. For
My favorite is the expanse of land in Al Sundan. The miles of unused gigabytes.
The vistas. The vistas.
Al Sundan is so funny.
It's the biggest tragedy.
It's the biggest TDM.
Tragic thing.
My experience
was
of Al
delayed
Sundan.
for 3 months. And it
Was it really that long?
It's a
It
campaign
was
map.
really that long. It became
campaign
Al
map.
Sundan for a reason.
It's like, so look at this apple, right? Slice of apple, right? You see how flat that is? That's Al Sundan.
I can't tell the difference.
Holy shit.
Poor Al Sundan.
Poor Al Sundan. Those graphical glitches really killed it, didn't it?
We never got to see any, did we? They wouldn't let us play the map until they fixed it.
Remember the
Oh, then there
windows?
was frame rate drops the day it came out.
Yeah.
Looked
It's
really bad.
flat. How?
And the windows, you
Optimized,
couldn't jump in the
obviously.
windows.
Yeah, not
Oh,
allowed.
man.
Oh yeah, the bug and the FOV resets after you,
Oh,
you
yeah, yeah.
respawn. Oh my
Oh.
god, dude.
Listen,
Yeah,
front
okay.
lines in Al Sundan though is top tier. I don't care what anybody
Straight
says.
line.
They have front
That's a
lines
good
in Al
time.
Sundan.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Because
Getting on
I
top of
only
this-
played
getting on top of the
Al
hangar center right now.
Sundan like maybe twice. Once on Breakthrough, once on Conquest.
Mhm.
Both times in the JU-88. Both times getting like 10 plus multi-kill wipes in one carpet bomb.
You
So
probably didn't notice that Al Sundan was in the front lines because that was when they brought auto spotting back into the game. So you probably played a couple rounds, noticed auto spotting, and then rage quit, just like a lot of people did. So you didn't get Al Sundan. But when he got there, it was pretty nice, except for when people got on top of the hangar, which I did with a ZH.
Toxic.
That's pretty
you
Okay,
wanna
since we're on, yeah, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, if you want to win, you have to use every means at your.
Yeah, it's serious. Okay, since we're on like really bad maps, what's the worst map in the game? Period.
Al Sundan.
Al Sundan.
Al Sundan.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mercury.
here's the thing, right? If we're talking
Mercury.
I hate Wake Island too.
overall,
Pacific Storm.
it's gotta be
Conquest.
It's gotta be Wake Island or Pacific Storm, specifically on Conquest. I mean, we're talking about just unbearable dog shit. It's terrible.
It's two people on every flag.
Triathlon.
Wide open.
And you
It
like a
has
30-second.
water.
Yeah.
You're getting farmed by Pacific planes, which is undoubtedly the strongest planes in the game. You're getting farmed by Pacific tanks.
And a beach landing.
Why?
Yeah,
I hate
LVTs.
Every game in every Battlefield game that has had a beach landing, I've never had a good experience. And
Yep.
the
That's
first
because
storm-
conceptually it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
But people are obsessed with it. You seen the amount of comments before the Pacific launched? Everyone's asking for Normandy and Omaha, whatever. Like
And
everyone's
they
asking
want
for
D-Day.
it.
Yeah, everyone
they
is
still
so
want it.
obsessed with D-Day.
Yeah,
still want it,
because
yeah.
they think it's good. They're going to survive. They don't think that they're going to be the ones getting fought. And then
Robbie for real in the chat, okay? That's because that's what it was like. Okay, cool. So you think that's good? Yeah. Let's just take this awful scenario in real life and transfer it to a video game and expect it to play better. What?
Let's simulate a terrible experience. I
And
think that'll be
we
fun.
made my first experience on Pacific Storm, I was on the defenders. For some reason, kept jumping out of their tanks. Midway through the match, we were still at 300 out of the attackers, 400 tickets. We had all the tanks, and we were shooting at their little boats and whatnot as they came out of their carrier. It was not fun for them. It was fun for us, but in the end, everyone on the attacking team quit out at 298 tickets, and we were left just sitting there because the game wouldn't end. Modern Warfare will end if there's no one on the other team, but Battlefield 5, we just sat there.
Yep. Well, what about the Bangalores that were leaked in the data mine? You guys hear about that?
Oh, how do they work? I'm not sure
What
how
was that?
how they they work.
Yeah, Sam.
Looks like just another stick mine to me.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
a
how they are.
very long stick with explosives on it. It was probably you'll be able to see it in a few movies.
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan, like
First
in the
scene.
beginning. Yeah.
Bangalores. Tom Hanks, dude.
I mean, what would you use this for aside from just being a lunge mine that doesn't lunge? Do you just whack tanks with it?
You're gonna put it on support, and they're gonna lay on the ground even more. There you go. They're crawling around with long sticks, dude. Watch out for them.
Like, would you be able to throw it or something? Like,
so it's better lunge
fucking
mine than.
thing. Ah.
I don't know. It's a data mine, you know. Take it with a grain of salt, of course, but I don't know what exactly it's gonna do, how it would perform in the game. No idea.
Okay, so no on Normandy, even though they're probably gonna make it anyway.
No, we need Eastern.
Eastern, yeah.
Give me that
which should
hot
come
city
first.
combat. Oh,
experience.
City combat.
Have you ever played those matches
Eastern.
where it's like 40 versus 10? That's the
Yeah. Yeah, but the next thing that they should do is, well, if they're going in order for World War II history stuff, is definitely the Eastern Front, Russian content.
Word.
But damn, do you like?
I'm ready to get sprayed down by a PPSH.
Give me some of that
Oh
Stalingrad.
baby, just
Give me some
just
of
Swiss
that.
cheese me. Oh.
Honestly, like
1200 RPM.
This isn't even part of the Eastern Front, but give me some of that. Paris, when it was invaded by Germany, give me some of that. That's pretty good.
You need some cities that don't have every single building destructible, like some actual cover. That's pretty neat.
Cover is stupid, right?
Hardcover.
We gotta go with the untold stories here, guys. Think outside the box.
All right.
This is everyone's Battlefield.
Forgot
Okay?
about that. Okay. The audio in Battlefield 5 isn't just
Didn't get
award-winning.
fixed. They're
It's
liars.
award-winning.
There's no difference.
So okay, so with this award-winning audio, they put in the patch notes that they have updated the priorities of specific things. Bruh, I don't know.
They said that last time.
I don't believe it. Yeah,
what this means right now. I've noticed no difference.
Because the sound system, it just means that quote unquote important sounds will play above others. So like footsteps, if they will always play, stuff like that.
Yeah, but is that actually working?
It's not actually working.
I hear my squad mates. I hear my squad mates by fucking everybody.
I hear my footsteps and my teammates' footsteps way more than the enemy footsteps, and they're so loud. Like sometimes you just can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
I don't hear these problems because one, I don't really play the game. Two, I'm in the JU88 base, so I don't hear jack shit.
I have a
aside from
feeling.
the sound.
I have a feeling why you hear teammate footsteps a lot of the time is because they probably don't separate them from enemy footsteps. It's just footsteps.
Yeah.
You know. So
in BF1, you could tell the difference. I'd love to have that back.
In Battlefield 1, they said that they lowered the volume of teammate footsteps and raised the volume of enemy footsteps before, didn't they? Or am I remembering some other game?
They did that in Battlefield 5 as well. Then they took it out because it was too loud. Remember that for a week? It was like a week or two. Remember that? And you could hear somebody across the map almost.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember hearing someone like 25 yards away just prone,
so
rustling.
They don't have that ability, but
especially on FL, you can hear everything, man.
Now
Dolby Atmos brings a little bit of that back. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I don't. The background noise is so bassy. I think they should change certain audio noises, plain and simple. Like just replace the goddamn audio file. Maybe give them more treble or something. But it's so bassy when something explodes in the background, and when I'm shooting at the same time, I literally don't hear anything.
I liked when you brought up
dude.
that clip from Saving Private Ryan with like the tanks approaching at the end and it had like the really screechy gear noises.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have something like that
more
for
high
your
end,
tanks because You don't hear them at all. If they're stationary, you just run up on one. It's not making a noise.
Teslas, man, the Teslas.
Yeah, Tesla tanks, my favorite.
It's the base, yeah. It's the immersion, pretty much.
Those silos on Wake Island that can now explode. I had one explode, and I was over at the runway, in the far end of the runway, like as far away as possible from the silos. Overtook all my audio when those things exploded. Now, of course, you want to argue with them, sure, but this is a video game, so maybe don't have that happen.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You're talking about the silos in Wake Island that blow up now?
Yeah. Also, those
an audio config called "I'm sweaty, I don't give a fuck," and it just
deletes all that.
Works.
Those Wake Island silo things, they mess with your visuals now on Xbox. Or I don't know if they extend
they
platforms.
always did. I thought, like when it blows up, there's this giant blur or whatnot.
No, not that. No. After they're exploded, if you go down there, the texturing is all glitched and it probably causes epilepsy.
It's probably console because I saw on PC it's just supposed to be like a sea of lava and flames and whatnot.
Yeah, no, it's textures are straight up messed up.
Okay,
not surprised because
I don't understand the priorities DICE has here. They actually had time to do that within literally a patch.
I feel like it took a person like 2 seconds to do that, honestly.
But like with all the tank customization too, it looks like someone barely.
The tank customization is the most embarrassing
with
pile
the hat
of trash I've ever seen in my
fucking hat.
It's so embarrassing. They should be ashamed of themselves. Honestly, it's absolutely embarrassing.
But it's just repeating the pattern.
On the side of a turret, disgusting. This is so like. How long we wait for that?
It's the same amount of effort they put into pretty much every feature so far.
It's like exactly what I expected, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, even I didn't expect that. Honestly, even I didn't expect that bad.
It's what I feared and what I expected at the same time.
But like, you know, Julian, you posted your clip about it on Reddit and stuff, and it seemed like Reddit was like either between nothing or, you know, pink fluffy unicorns. There's an in-between. If you go watch the reveal trailer, I know we all hate it, but if you go watch the reveal trailer, there's good customization on tanks that looks nice. If you go watch that. You know, people downloaded it then, but if that's the type of customization they want to bring into the game, I'm down for that. It looks pretty neat. It's essentially what we had in the alpha. Remember that. Yeah, the pre-alpha, whatever, which one had the tiger.
I wouldn't have, and that whole debacle where they ended up locking that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the locked away tank customization, or even the stuff that they gave us for free, was actually not too bad looking. I actually kind of liked it.
The one on the Sherman? Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice, and just everything in that reveal trailer was nice. And maybe
Where's
that's
my elite tank skin for buying the deluxe edition?
Please, yes.
The deluxe edition.
For being a chump. Got me good.
Got me real good. Hey, early access to the game. We could turn that down.
Oh man, when they said that tank customization is a gift from us to you, like, bro, this is late, dude. Like, this is not a gift.
Hope it comes with a receipt so I can return it. Thanks.
Like, yeah, you don't have the right to say that, man. It's just like, yeah, whatever, man. And that's pretty much what tank customization is. But what the hell was I talking about before this?
Video games, like different ones. I don't know. That was a long time ago, though.
That was a long time ago, Vince. Shit. Losing track.
I was something about video games. I don't know.
We're talking about footsteps.
Oh, yeah, audio. Yeah, I mean, anybody else have any ideas for audio, or is that just never going to get fixed?
Copy paste BF1's audio. Honestly.
Easy clap. Next question. How was the audio of BF1 so good and BF5 so bad?
I mean, guns, footsteps, enemy footsteps, and teammate footsteps, you could tell the difference. BF1's audio is top notch. Even though I don't like that game that much.
Was it ever bad in BF? I didn't. Forgive me here. I didn't have a lot of experience with BF1, but was it bad at launch? Did they rework it?
No.
Nope.
It was always fantastic. They never even needed to tweak footsteps in BF1. They were always top notch.
Okay.
Can't believe we're saying that about
disparity between enemy and friendly footsteps. Like sometimes you hear your teammates' footsteps louder than enemies, which makes no sense.
Teamwork, man. Teamwork.
Especially when you're spawning in for the first time.
You guys got any topics to bring up in the chat? Please do, because I'm running out. We talked about a lot of things.
You can bring up premium if you want to discuss that real quick.
Okay, well, we could talk about premium. The best argument I heard was from Fireborn. I kind of like his idea of having these. I would say instead of what was it? Not like we have what we have right now is like the chapter system, right? Instead of that, it would be this a new season, essentially, and so you wouldn't lock out like it does premium, where if you don't buy it, you'll never be able to play it. But if it was a time thing, kind of like if you buy the chapter, you'll be able to play it early for like a week or two, and then it will unlock later on down the line as a live service instead. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think people will spend their money on that. I don't see it like succeeding.
Personally,
yeah, but it's only early access. Like not many. Like the fact that people know that it's gonna be coming eventually for free. I think it's gonna just turn them off from spending extra money. That's exactly what premium suffered in previous games. Not many people, like just a few amount of people would play like the new maps, then it would just die. So when people just know for a fact that the content that they're paying for is gonna be free for like after a week, I don't think it's gonna work. Like it needs to be like a month or 2 months. Like if
content needs to be good.
If they're gonna use that idea, yeah, it needs to be a long time.
If the content is good, people will pay the money. It's just
yeah, if it's good,
especially if it's marketed to play early.
But I don't think people trust DICE to deliver anything good, especially after what's happening with BF5. I think people are gonna have a trust problem.
True.
With DICE.
What was I saying? Oh, they need to start listening to. They need to start valuing the opinion of their longtime players that are actually good at the game. I feel like there needs to be some sort of way that they have to differentiate. Like they need to listen to experienced people that are actually good at what they do. Like obviously they're experienced players. There are experienced players throughout all of the Battlefield games, but guess what? Most of them aren't good at the game. They obviously can give valuable feedback for some things, but on more technical things, they clearly don't understand because they are not good at the game. So they need to find some way to split some feedback somehow. Because when good players are saying, "Hey, random recoil, spread to recoil isn't a good idea. It's gonna," or this is a better example. Decoupling recoil from the center of your screen is gonna mess up jump peeking because if you tie it to your weapon sight, your weapon sight follows your arms when you jump, which means that jump peeking can no longer be done accurately. That's probably not a good idea. And also, tying recoil to the center of your screen just makes the game feel better, and no one was complaining about it anyway, so you probably shouldn't change that. Just like, that's the type of feedback they need to listen to. Like, a normal player will not understand that at all. I'm sorry. Like, because they don't care about it. They just want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like an intelligence thing. It's like they literally don't know it's in the game because they don't want to know it's in the game. They just play the game.
So what I would do for premium personally, sorry about that, Enders, but I agree with you. Just wanted to put that out there. Totally agree with you. They should listen to, and Seth brought it up, the Game Changers and EA or DICE friends. They sort of listen to them, but not all the time. Like people think that some of those guys have a lot of power. They really don't have a lot of power in terms of like swaying people's opinions at DICE Stockholm. A lot of the EA Game Changers brought up changes that needed to be happening when the game first launched. I don't think any of them got listened to. And then as for the premium discussion, I think that a system like what Call of Duty has, I think, will be a viable system. You don't lock guns and maps behind a paywall for any period of time, but instead just go strictly cosmetics. I think that'd be a good way to go. I would personally pay for it. I got a lot of time in the game. I would continue to put a lot of time in the game, and I'm okay with paying for cosmetics for a season like that. So that's me personally. If you really want to put content behind it, I don't. The argument against a long, like 2 weeks or a month behind the paywall is the players who have access to it are going to get really, really good at those maps, and then once the players have access to it, who didn't pay for it, they're going to get dumpstered round after round. That's the argument against it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's the argument against it. And it's going to come up. So I think the best system right now is what Call of Duty has, personally. Just cosmetics. I mean, this is also assuming they're going to have monthly content drops with good maps and good weapons, like a substantial amount, like the same amount you would expect from premium Battlefield 4. You got that amount in mind. Just do that, but then also just have your premium packs be cosmetics only. It's my idea here, but I know it kind of sucks, but I think that's the middle ground, in my opinion, and that's what I kind of want to argue for.
Well, I know me personally, if it's a paywall, like what are we talking like I guess Boynes, right? Like spending Boynes for early content.
Sorry. Hold on. One sec, Vince. Sorry, I got cut off. I accidentally pressed a button and muted myself. But yeah, I was just asking Vince and Cassie about the actual premium service. Go ahead, Vince.
Oh yeah. If something like that's behind a paywall, then I'm probably going to do it. Honestly, like, yeah, okay, a couple bucks here to get some early access. That's cool. I don't know what the though. I know like Cass and I both bought the game 2 times.
Yeah.
We bought deluxe the first time.
Jeez, sorry.
And then we got it on PC. I know, fucking terrible. And we got the game the second time. And by the second time, here's the thing. I mean, here's an answer. By the second time, when it came down to getting deluxe or any kind of like package that was like a premium deluxe, whatever the case was, we're both like, nope.
No, it's not worth it.
Not
totally
gonna do it.
Not worth it.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They'd have to package it a certain way. For me, man, incentive would be like, if you put weapons, people will probably buy. And that's an incentive to do a premium and to keep people buying.
Some problems with that. If
they want to make money off that, then that's the only way to really get me doing it. Cosmetics, I don't really care. Personally, I would just play the game, but it's just all honestly. I guess it's case by case basis for everyone. If it came down to weapons, I would put in for that. Personally.
What do you think, Gabby?
Personally, I don't think I would ever probably pay for something like that. In a way, I think it kind of I mean, I think it's something that like streamers would do if it wasn't cosmetics, because I feel like people don't really care about cosmetics, but if there was weapons or maps behind a paywall, which I don't know if I agree with from a money-making standpoint, then yeah, that makes sense. But any new content, I think it kind of like streamers kind of rely on that, especially in Battlefield 5. Everyone wants to know like what's the new content. It came out today. We want to know it now. Like it doesn't make sense to wait if it was like a, I don't know, 1 month paywall to wait for that to be free when the content is technically out. But I don't know, for a regular player, I don't know if they would maybe bother.
What about for like just casual players who play like maybe once a week or something? A lot of people actually kind of like this reward system when it comes to the chapter rewards. Sometimes for casual players, it's hard for them to get to that max rank. Is it the way it's going right now with this whole tier skip stuff? A lot of people actually like that, but it's disguising itself as content, and I don't think they seem to understand this kind of shit. Like I that's not I mean, that's just leveling up things. Like you either get it or you don't, kind of thing.
That's a whole other discussion of who DICE should cater towards. And as we know from certain EA game changers, DICE doesn't care about us who play the game for, more than 5 hours a week. So.
Got you good.
Jack W.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to bring up something? Because I'm all out of ideas here. Battlefield 5, The Inquisition. Anything.
Give me nice. Just change your RSP so servers disappear after 50 games. How about that?
Okay.
A
Instead of
title
20.
might also not hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's very challenging to code something like that.
Well, I mean, on the topic of RSP, I didn't get to chime in earlier when we were talking about them, but I agree with everything that was being said at the time. There's more stuff I wanted to add to it for competitive purposes and maybe more, very niche type of design of RSP. I think that obviously the usual like weapon banning and class banning, gadget banning, attachment banning, that sort of stuff should be in the game. But you should have access to that to support a competitive scene, and even more in the future type of thing. If we can get some way to redesign the layout of the map, maybe we can pick up and move points around. Again, this is not for pubs. This is strictly for competitive. But have that sort of ability. That's borderline modding, but if you build into the game, I think that'd be a good system. So, you can change the out of bounds areas, you can change that sort of stuff. But listen, that's just me tossing something out there because that's never gonna happen.
Modding tools in Battlefield. Oh my god,
it's never a lot.
No, the way people are now taking it is, if you want to mod something, you're gonna have to pay for it, or they're taking all these modders out here and
Frostbite's too hard,
putting it into the store now, and they don't have like no rights or anything. I mean, look what World of Warcraft is doing with their remastered Warcraft. Is just insanity. Like, they basically have no rights to their own mods towards those new games.
Majafel brings up a really good point in the chat. Says delete Origin Access, it promotes cheating. Yeah. I don't think Origin Access should be, because if you think about it, that's the cheapest way to get Battlefield 5. Because if they cheat, they don't care, because if you blatantly aimbot for a month straight every single day, like, you're gonna get banned. But they don't. They get a new account. They aimbot like 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row. Then they stop for a week. And then they do it again and again and again. And these are the same people. And then they just get new Origin Access accounts every single time. And I know this firsthand because I get stream sniped by aimbotters for 10 months, 11 months.
Yeah,
including today.
Cheating's getting out of control for PC players and streamers. There's no streamer mode or anything. It's just the Wild West.
It's almost like it makes them more money.
Wouldn't even matter. The thing is, streamer mode doesn't matter in pretty much any battle royale game, but in Battlefield, it would specifically not matter at all because I'll stress this again. All you need to do in Battlefield to know where someone is see the map and see the mode. That's it. You need those two things. You can discern everything else other than that. If there's multiple servers running the same map and mode, all you need to do is join, leave till you find me. It's that easy. And there's nothing I can do about it.
What Boca says is actually really true. There have been, I forget what company it was, but there was actually like a business strategy where they would only, this is a different game, different company, they would only ban cheaters that there was enough player attention, because cheating under the radar was just money for them. And if players didn't know it was happening, then there's no reason to ban them, because that would actually be a money loss.
I mean, that's just stupid.
Legal
because
stuff.
More people would just buy. What? More people would buy your fucking game if you didn't have a cheating problem. Like, you'd actually gain money over time if you didn't piss people off.
Yeah, but they had a way of determining like the level of heat, I guess, heat on a particular account. Does that make sense?
Like, if you're running a wall hack, no one's gonna know.
Like, if you're cheating subtly, they wouldn't ban that. because like theoretically one person was suspicious. But if you're rage hacking, then they would get on that.
I'm installing an aimbot. Here we
It was
go.
an optics thing, basically.
Reported.
Like a PR image.
Reported. I don't know how they're gonna fix this. I mean, what about that EA develop thing that they're bringing up? They're developing
Top
their
priority.
own.
But I will mention
I know,
that
right?
RSP has pretty much always been the anti-cheat for Battlefield.
Right.
Pretty much.
It should be, yeah. It should just be there at the beginning of every game. But you know what KHT was talking about, and Nocturne as well, have like a more advanced system around that.
Yeah, you need to create a more robust system. But
yeah,
there are no cheaters in Battlefield 3. There are no cheaters in Battlefield 4 right now. When I went back to play it, the only remaining servers of those games are rental servers. So they're just gonna instantly permanently ban any like blatant cheater. Like this is how it is. There's actually less cheaters like playing Battlefield 3 than there are playing Battlefield 5. I know Battlefield 3 is an older game, but still, you'd think the older game would have just more cheaters.
Do you think the RSP we have now is gonna flourish, or is this game just gonna outright? Is it gonna flourish?
No, I don't think anything will happen with this
RSP. It has
RSP.
to be fleshed out more.
I don't think they're going to update any of the server options. I think this is pretty much how they're just going to leave it. And if they do decide to update any of the server options, I will be extremely surprised because I don't know what their data is just like. Well, we added community games. No one's playing them. I guess we don't have to do anything. I mean, from their perspective, I would not be surprised if that's their way of thinking. They added community games. No one's playing them. Our data shows no one's playing community games. Therefore, why should we update them? Like that is how delusional I believe these people are.
I think there's a higher chance of them just removing RSP actually than adding updates to it, removing it entirely to someone using it.
But what is so funny is they don't.
Apparently, there's
understand
an entire team dedicated to it.
Wow.
What's so funny is they don't understand.
That's kind of surprising.
There was a community manager post that was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to the team in charge of community service." I was like, "What? What? Someone made that during lunch? Like what?"
Someone made that during lunch.
I think they use that team, the quote unquote word team there. I think they use that pretty liberally, to be honest with you. They said a team is the one who implemented the aim snap on console. So then the team is happy with where it's at. So I think they use that term pretty liberally. If I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, I'd believe that.
Jimmy at accounting wanted aim snap in the game. Okay.
He's happy where it is.
We're hiring. We need UX designer. Get over here.
People are like adding me on Twitter saying like apply Enders. Like what?
Who'd want to work there, dude?
What?
Or literally everyone disagrees with you, especially your
These
boss.
people know exactly
Those Glassdoor reviews are pretty hot.
Yeah. But, hey, you know, good.
I'm within
good
driving
lunches.
distance of an EA playtest building. I'll go down there. I'll do it for free.
Listen, I've said it multiple times. I'll work for free if they fly me out.
Yeah. I mean, is it even worth it?
If they listen to me, yeah.
Cheers.
I'm not kidding. If they listen to me, it would be 100% worth it.
Imagine all the feelings you would hurt.
I don't care.
Can't have that.
I hope it makes someone fucking cry. This is what needs to happen. People need to get fucking yelled at to the point where they cry at this company. I swear to God. You walk in there and just go, who made this? Get out.
Isn't that their like number one thing? Like that guy who said like, "Oh, you can't criticize because someone in our chat worked on this project."
That's what I was referring to.
Oh,
so many tears.
Did you see that tweet from an ex-DICE developer? That was along the lines of, well, I would give them feedback, but then the people that would hand the feedback over would tell me that I shouldn't write that because it might hurt the lead designer's feelings. Like, you said what?
Yeah,
we're talking about the same thing.
What do you want me to write? So like, this shit is garbage. I mean, what?
How do you explain how
hurt their feelings?
Yeah. Explains a lot, right?
At that point, I would walk out. Unbelievable. It's a waste of time.
What do you think you get? What do you guys think they're gonna work on next for 6.4? The next
Probably
update?
tweaking the guns again because it's
Eastern
in the
Front.
yeah.
I don't know.
If you're talking about actually like concept of the game, hopefully Eastern Front that'd be ideal. But as for like maybe the next patch, I'm thinking they're probably gonna tweak guns again. Honestly, tweak some guns
again.
Yep.
I hope that
Tweak
they do
guns,
something about the
audio
netcodes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good
I
job.
die
Good
behind
job.
walls.
All the
Good job,
time,
dude.
dude. Like just that. Yeah, it's so much more apparent now too. Like the kind of reverted some things. Yeah, it's super comical now. I just laugh now.
What is the tick rate right now on PC? It's 30 hertz on console.
60. I think it's 60. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's 60 on PC. It's definitely 60. Like
Yeah,
if it was 30,
it
I'd
has
be
to be
able
60.
tell.
BF1 was 60. And BF4 had some 60.
Yeah, BF4
Oh.
has a smaller gamers than 60.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
That I would be delighted to do. Like it's the little things, right? It's just the little things every time. You know how the audio engineer came out like a week ago? And you know that audio change I was spread around to people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like you changed this and this. The lead audio engineer for fucking DICE came out. And he was like, why are people spreading this around? These two commands are from past games. It doesn't even affect Battlefield 5. And so the effect was obviously placebo when anyone changed it, right? So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Can you please just release like a list of functional commands and tell us what they do? Thanks. Because maybe some people would actually be able to tweak the game's performance enough to the point where, and this is only for PC, by the way. I don't think consoles will ever have this available to them, unfortunately. But maybe because you can tweak the game's performance FPS wise in config settings, console commands, and you can just make the game run better. But the problem is no one knows what the fuck any of these commands do, and if they even affect the engine. It's like,
didn't it seem like it was?
Give me some write-ups or something. It would take 5 minutes. Have whoever knows what the Frostbite engine does go, this command does this, this command does this, this command does this. Bam. There it is. Release the list.
It seemed like it was really hard to find this dude, the audio director, because it didn't seem like he was even working on this game or even working at DICE.
Probably in Hawaii.
I know, it's
phone.
like, hey, I got this random email from one of our community managers for this game I used to work on 5 years ago. Yeah, none of that works. Bye. Go have his pina colada or something. Like, it was wild. It's like it kind of seems like most of the people who are behind this game are kind of like long gone. And I mean, I remember someone said, Nocturne, do they even have weapon designers anymore working on this game?
Not sure if I should mention it, but
you probably shouldn't. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I bring it up. It's like, who the hell is working on this game anymore? But yeah. Any other what was other people talking about here in chat? Someone said, like, what do you like about 6.2 over 5. I mean, we went over a lot of that already earlier on.
Summer is too early to celebrate. Don't stop.
Right now, SARS are back. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, they still need to rethink the slow fire rate SMGs that kind of got left in the dust. They were good at one point, but yeah. I want changes to the vanilla maps. I want just kind of like overhauls of certain things. If
have more cover, like aerodrome.
Yeah, like that aerodrome. What they did for Outposts, I thought it was a really good idea. I was like, just add that to regular.
We need more maps that are quality, and we need more maps. Period.
We actually, I think, don't we
maps
have
that are
maps
not big,
just that they're not played? Yeah.
And on every game mode.
Yeah,
that would be good too.
I would rather than work on making the current maps more playable and more accessible across game modes, and then add more, because there's wasted potential always. Like, just look at Battlefield 3, right? Dozens of maps at this point, but everyone plays Operation Metro nonstop. So why not just make all the maps play as fun as Operation Metro?
I think premium also is a contribution to that. Fact that people still play base maps.
I mean, that was a different team. That was a different level of competency. That was a different level of. That was a different game.
Yeah, they probably all left.
But then producing more shit maps isn't gonna help. You're still not gonna play them if they're shit. Or are you willing to play them if they're shit?
Well, if they're shit, they're shit. But I mean, if they're good, right?
Good point.
I mean, well, like, it's a matter of, is DICE going to do that or not? You know, is DICE going to make good maps?
Bars.
I don't know.
I think it's funny because I think so it's largely dependent on game mode. There's some maps that are absolutely irrefutably unplayable on Conquest, such as, in my opinion, the maps I've never played in my life. I've never played Wake Island Conquest, never played Pacific Storm Conquest, never played Iwo Jima Conquest, never played Panzer Storm Conquest, but Breakthrough tends to make some of those maps that are unplayable, in my opinion, on Conquest playable if you're on a certain side. You know what I mean?
Like defense.
That's like super specific, but I think if you're on attackers on Pacific Storm or attackers on Iwo Jima, the map is playable. Even defenders on Iwo Jima is playable, but it's boring. It's largely dependent on game mode, is the point.
And also the willingness of the enemy team to actually play the game on Breakthrough. That is on those on the maps where they got to do beach landing. If they're not playing the game,
they're just so bad that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think it's a problem with the beach landing, honestly.
Yes, it is a problem with the beach
problem
landing.
with that. So
they cannot, like, even insane players can't gain footing on a beach landing map. You have tanks looking at you, you have Type 10s looking at you, you have snipers, ZH-29s, jungle carbines, planes, grenades, frag rifles, piats. It's like you cannot. I don't care who you are, you cannot avoid any of that for much long at all.
But as for like general map design going forward, I hate that if you bring it up on Twitter or Reddit, it's like, I don't want large map. People go, well, I don't want a checkerboard size map or something like that.
And then I point out all the useless wasted space that I've never been set foot on.
It's like people don't realize there's an in-between between a TDM map and a Alice on Dan. There is an in-between. It's just the latest few maps that we've had are closer to Alice on Dan than anything else. So just bring us back down a little bit, and I think a lot of us will be happy again.
The largest a map should be, in my opinion, if we're talking about Conquest, is probably either Mercury or Merida in terms of size. If you look at, they're big maps, but each area of that big map has playability. Like on Mercury, near the airfields, there's those big hills, so you can use the angles of the hills to cut things off. You can flank low, you can flank high, you can flank up the middle. So you can work around those hills. Then there's that house on the hill, and then past the house there's that valley. You can head glitch. If you're below the hill, you can kill the people that are head glitching on the hill from the house. On the sea point, there's houses and cranes and shit. And then past sea point, I'm talking about Mercury, by the way. Past sea point, there's the entire town, and then past the town there's a hill looking down into the town. So it's a huge map, but each area is actually playable. Panzer Storm is literally flat.
Yeah, both maps you just listed there, they have hilly designs to them, so that way you can't get cross mapped that easily.
You can break sight lines.
Yep.
And you can form different ways to peek, and you're not exposed, and there's actual cover. So I think that's the ultimate point.
Yeah, and that was brought up by a lot of official posts regarding freaking Aerodrome. They added boxes, they added cars, whatever, solid cover to remove that sort of thing. And then they just stop. Like, oh, that's not doing on any of the other ones. No one's complaining about it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Mercury is like the worst to play on because of that.
Yeah, I just don't like seeing when we bring up this sort of discussion. Unless you have like 20 minutes to sit down and talk with the person, they're gonna immediately think you just want, Operation Metro or Ryan 24/7, all that. Like, that's what you want for every single map. It's like, no, there's an in between. It's just, you would ignore that in between, I suppose. So.
All right.
They only remember the horrible examples.
Yeah.
Like the ones that.
All right. User here asked a question about how much community influence there is on Battlefield 5, and I think a lot of it was at the beginning with the whole, I don't know, SJW stuff and like crazy cosmetics. Like,
I think that was more pleasing shareholders than anything else. I don't think it's really got anything to do with anything going on right now.
And it didn't even work because it's the most disliked fucking trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So there's not
but as
much.
for like what they're listening to right now, I honestly have no idea. They say, let's say one day they're listening to analytics or watching analytics. The other day they'll say according to the survey, and then other days it just seems like they're going off Reddit or whatever Reddit is saying. So I don't know.
All you need to see to understand that they don't give a fuck is them changing the time to kill.
Yeah.
Seeing that everyone that was happy with the time to kill, no one was complaining about it, and then they changed it again. It's like
when they promise. When the guy who doesn't work there anymore promised not to do it again. Oh, well, he's gone now, so...
someone brought that up, and he said something to the extent of, I said what I promised, and then people above me disagreed, and something like that. Other people on the team wanted to change it.
I hear that.
Yeah, he said he fought for it.
Yeah.
He said he fought for it, and... Yeah.
Yikes.
It was Tigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as for that TTK change, as much as they'll deny it, I do think that was going to be a selling point for Christmas time. They'll deny it, of course, but
I mean, honestly, I don't understand how. I could see how that would be a selling point for Christmas time, but it also just makes absolutely no sense because if you're making the TTK longer, that's only going to make it harder for new players.
Wasn't necessarily the TTK change, but the other changes they made too. The spotting.
What'd you say?
Yeah, the other changes they made at the time was also the spotting changes.
The fucking arrow on the map.
All the other stuff as well,
Spotting?
on top of the
so
TTK.
ridiculous.
So they could say, hey, the TTK in particular wasn't for Christmas noobs, but all this other stuff was. They didn't really. I don't think they ever mentioned anything about the other stuff.
Initially, I agreed with the direction of the TTK change, but I agreed with the short range direction, not the long range or mid range. And because obviously, if you look at those numbers, like the FG42 was put to a 5 to 13 BTK, it has 20 bullets in a magazine. A toddler could look at that and tell you're a fucking idiot. Like increasing the time to kill in close range, specifically, we're talking like 5 BTK. Yeah. That, in my opinion, is nothing to complain over. It is extremely minimal. But increasing the BTK from medium and long range, the amounts they did was just made absolutely no sense. They went way too overboard with it. It just made absolutely no sense at all.
I think the heralding example. Go ahead.
They had the goal to come out and say, we improved the experience of being engaged at long range.
Yeah, that is oh
man.
I love shooting an assault rifle 10 times to get a kill at range when it has only 20 rounds. They definitely improved it.
Yeah, the heralding example I could use here's the M1 Garand before the 6.2 here. It would take 4 shots as longer ranges when you only have 8 rounds to work with. It also did per damage less than Commando Carbine. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's when you look at it, sure, it helps the noobs in that they're not dying faster, but people play a shooter to get kills, and if you're not getting kills, just surviving every encounter
it's not fun.
I know it's not fun.
Yeah,
you survive, but
it
never feels like you did anything.
Yeah,
especially when killing tanks.
But I will say
kill the tanks and they come back. Hello.
I will say getting a kill streak on 5.2.2 and just completely out aiming and outgunning everyone, that was fun when it was happening. Like just hard winning every fight just was insane. But it was way harder. Like it was way fun than it isn't right now. It's still satisfying right now, obviously. The satisfaction didn't change, but I don't know. I just like a challenge, I guess. Not that type of challenge, obviously, but
yeah.
That was
did I miss an airplane discussion?
High-fly aircraft. We all agree that Bomber should be deleted from the game.
Yeah,
all of us are in agreement.
Except for Nocturne, he's
no. I actually would not mind if Bombers were removed. I only play them because it's the only way I could get anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, you play to get kills. I can't get kills as infantry because I can't see any infantry, so I play something that doesn't require me. But
delete I-fly aircraft from the game.
Oh man,
yeah, ban
good first step.
Airplane.
Good first step.
Bombers are fire? No.
They should be on fire.
I mean, if you ever watch I-Fly Aircraft stream, the man is flying a Jubba, and he's switching seats from the belly guns, beaming kids across the map.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
I love how you can win frame across the map when you switch seats. That's awesome.
Optimal way to play.
I mean, it is unique. I'll give him that. It's unique. I've never seen anyone else do it. It is a unique aspect, but holy shit, it's so broken.
It's a professional farmer.
He is a professional.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
Yeah. Actually, he's probably doing more than any other infantry on the map, to be honest. That's how broken the ball is.
Well, yeah, you're just a godlike fucking figure.
When basically a blind guy can get triple-digit kills with it, it's probably some...
Well, you don't really need to see your targets. You just need to know, like, map rotations, right? I guess.
Not even the map rotations. You just see the blinking flag, you fly over. It's like, come
Exactly.
here, bomb.
Cover it in bombs.
Yeah.
Easy.
Grug see flashing berry flag.
Exactly.
All right. Vince, Cassie, you have anything on your mind? Anything you want to talk, anything you want to talk about?
I guess I don't know if we have another topic.
I don't know. I'm out. I mean, we were talking about planes here for a second. Delete them, but yeah, I don't know. Tombstone's talking about something here. Feels like that. Oh, could they save Battlefield 5 at this point, just for short of gutting and starting all over? Oh my god. I mean,
no.
They could at least fix some of the glaring issues, but it's not gonna save it. No.
Yeah.
Restore my faith so I don't feel like a chump when I buy the next one.
Mr. Kaiser says, can we talk about the differences of deep dish and New York style pizza?
Deep dish all the way.
Chicago is pizza is not pizza, it's casserole. Next question.
Yes, it's better.
Chicago pizza is, I mean, I'll eat any pizza, right? But deep dish.
Deep dish, dude.
It's a casserole, bro.
There's more sustenance, bro. I can't talk right now. Skip me.
So how long did it take for Battlefield 4 to get on track? I remember like going to pre-order and picking it up at midnight and super excited for Battlefield 4.
I'm pretty sure it took a good
titles
year to get it actually on track.
And
well, go ahead.
About a year.
I'm trying to remember when the CTE started up for Battlefield 4. That's when it started to get back on track. Just about.
It felt like a year. I don't know. One of the glaring issues I remember about Battlefield 4 on console on the Xbox 360 is a good time. If you try to load into Dawnbreaker, the game would crash. That was always a good time. So you'd always try and leave the server before Dawnbreaker came up. But I think that got fixed once I switched over to Xbox One. So that at that point it would have been about a year. Yeah. So I think a year has been. It started getting into shape.
Yeah, someone just donated to the thanks for the 5. Do you think 5.2 TTK added a level of difficulty? I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
It was it was harder for the shooter.
It taught me to fear the Zerg.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, actually, if you held off a Zerg in 5.2, I have a couple clips where I held off a Zerg. I don't know. That was
fucking
a special
unicorn,
clip.
bruh.
Those are special clips. I'll never hit that again.
What about, let's see here. What did OG Smurf say here? What about DICE promoting a camping playstyle with weapon assignments? Oh, the weapon assignments. My god.
Who even cares about weapon assignments?
Okay.
Yo, I do.
Oh, that's right. Energy.
Spotting kills the game. It does not kill the game.
Then all the assignments, man.
So the assignments promoting I think it isn't the assignments, because even when people complete the assignments, if they're gonna camp, they're gonna camp. Like
yeah.
I think the main issue is you add weapons like MMGs and Boys AT rifles. Like Boys AT rifle, when that weapon was announced, I went on Reddit and said this shit needs to be gutted. Right now, I can see into the future. I know exactly what's going to happen. And guess what? I was fucking 100% right. But I got downvoted into oblivion.
I thought it was I thought it was going to be a gadget, dude.
That's
it
what I thought.
Made more sense to be a gadget.
Yeah, it makes more sense to be a gadget. But when you add weapons that are one-shot kills, but you need to prone, of course people are going to use it. Of course. When you add a weapon, when you have the MG42 with 1200 RPM, but you need a prone, they don't care that I have to prone. They're going to prone anyway. You just gave them 1200 RPM. Like
outside of those guns that require you to prone, just to use them. The ones that also have a prone assignment, like assignment, but you don't have to prone, like the Lewis gun. You know, those have prone assignments.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it promotes a camping playstyle, generally speaking here. The people that are going for these gold assignments probably already have a good idea how to complete them and get them done with one round, and they're back on their feet after that one round. So maybe for that one round, they'll be toxic and camping a little bit, but if they're strictly going for gold assignments, they'll get it done pretty quickly, most likely, and back out and get another assignment going. Now, going back to the menus, that's a whole other discussion. But as for what they require you to do on the assignments, it's got to be coded by a bot. It's got to be made by a bot. There's no way it's not made by a bot. There's no way a human said, "Hey, yeah, let's just make people get headshot kills with S26 over 50 meters." There's no way somebody said that and was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go with that." So I think someone needs to sit down and actually think about what they're doing when it comes to weapon assignments instead of having a bot do it.
Yeah, I agree with you with the whole distance feature. I was like, yeah, man, if they just did away with those, I don't have to worry about it. Man, I just wish there were better rewards. Like, at least something that...
What, a chrome part isn't a good reward?
It's not even a chrome part. It's a gold part, but...
mint on the proficiency and gold on the mastery.
I have no idea what the weapon assignments ask you to do because I don't do them. So
One of the hardest weapon assignments I did was the last G43 assignment. Getting
headshot kills on objectives.
Headshot kills on objectives. Holy
so where an SAR
old Model 8. That was a headache and a half. Like day one Model 8 when it was really, really garbage has the same type of assignment.
That's so trash.
Hated that one. That one took the longest to get done.
Energized Knight. Everyone in the chat needs to type something. They need to just type a fucking heart for Energized Knight. This man not only plays fucking Battlefield 5 on console 8 hours a day, he gets every single weapon assignment done. Do you understand? I would be dead.
I do weapon requests down daily.
I'd be dead.
Think about that. Listen, I'm already dead. I'm a corpse, just sitting right here. Okay, being propped up by sticks. Okay.
He's a scarecrow.
Speaking of dead, daylight savings time. Oh my god, wake me up! It's 4 a.m. for me. It's real.
Oh my god! Is it time for bed?
All right, guys. Daylight savings kicked in.
Let's bedtime. It's time to wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys. I've ran out of topics to talk about too, and Battlefield's already giving me a headache, and I'm not even playing it. Oh my god! But thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. It's the first time we've ever tried it. I thought it was pretty fun. Not too cringe. Everyone kind of gave their, their opinions about stuff, and we brought Vince and Cassie on, and it kind of worked. It was okay. It was pretty good. I'll probably do this again for sure. Definitely let me know what you guys thought about it.
All right.
I'll be putting on YouTube right after this. I know it's like a 4-hour thing, but I'll try to find some highlights. There's a lot of good banter and good topics being brought up. So yeah, it was cool. Thank you guys for coming. Nocturne, Enders, Boca, Energize, Dynamics, Vince, Gabby.
Thanks for having us.
Deltara, KHT. Sponsored by Doritos.
A pleasure as always.
All right, guys. We're gonna go raid somebody, so just stick around here. And again, thanks for coming by. Go get some sleep. Go to bed, everybody. Go to bed. All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Bye bye.
Good night, chat.
Good night.
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 Bye.